Welcome to the Off Axis Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another podcast. We got Amanda Schupp, a.k.a. Amanda Adventures, and Luke Schupp, also known as Trampwall 1. And then we got Dylan Broadway, also known as Dylan Broadway. So we got some of the best trampoliers in the world. We got some pretty TikTok-y famous people on the podcast today. How's life going for you guys in 2022?
In 2022, oh man, it's good. It's just the homeless part isn't good, but other than that, it is good.
The homeless part.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good. That's a great way.
We're trying to avoid chaotic
describe
evil, but
Yeah.
chaotic neutral and chaotic good, I will take.
Chaotic evil. Did that happen recently?
No, I will.
We watched somebody get shot the other day.
Yeah,
That
that was chaotic evil.
That was chaotic evil for sure.
Okay.
That was just perchance.
Explain.
Road rage is a bad thing. Like literally, we were in a lift in Dallas, and I'm like watching this guy who like got out of his car and is yelling at this other guy in his car, and he goes, "What are you gonna shoot me?" And then I just hear pop. I'm watching this guy like bleeding out of his stomach, and I'm just like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
I know.
It was nuts, dude.
And coming from California, where everyone has their
what?
feelings there on gun laws, and I was like, oh, I can't tell anyone from California that I went to Dallas and saw someone get shot because they're gonna be scared of Dallas.
And then now you guys are like, well, let's move to Dallas.
Yeah, for real.
I questioned telling my mom about it because I didn't want her to be scared.
Well, she might as well find out on the podcast, right?
Exactly.
What a chain of events, man. Holy
I saw
crap.
someone get shot when I was in like high school, and it was like gangbanger kind of stuff at a
Right.
party, basically. I didn't tell my mom or anything.
Oh.
She'll probably find out now, but
It's trippy, right? Like it's weird.
A lot of
Yeah.
Like
adrenaline.
like the adrenaline. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you this. So I'm trying to dial the police, but how often do you use your dial pad on your phone?
Nah, not really.
Almost never,
I just use Siri.
right? Like almost never. So I'm sitting there in the fucking lift, and I'm just like, I don't know where the dial pad is. How do I call 911? And so I'm like trying to find it, and I'm like, hey Siri, call 911, and it won't work. And eventually we found it and called, but I was just laughing because I'm like, I never use a dial pad.
Oh
It
my
was full
god!
emergency.
And so, did the person die?
I've
Did
been-
they fine?
We
No
don't
idea. The police
know.
told us we can go, and they would just call
A
us,
bunch of
which
people
they
like
never did.
ran to the guy, and I kept looking up online, trying to type in every configuration to maybe an article would show up. But I think a single person isn't that interesting of a story these days, unfortunately.
Oh my god, that's
Isn't that
crazy.
trippy?
That is crazy. Actually, about a year ago, we had the mob shoot someone and drop them off on our front, like basically front yard. And
Here?
Yeah, here. I like heard it and everything, and then I like go outside and I couldn't see anything because they were actually on the side of the house.
Oh my gosh.
And then I go inside and I come back, like I look in my window and I see an ambulance showing up. I'm like, well, that's really weird. And I walk
Right.
outside and the ambulance is walking up to this guy who's just bleeding to death with a hole in his stomach on our property. And I was like, oh my God. So my first thought was like, they might still be at my house. So I'm like running around the house like a fucking James Bond movie with a gun in my hand and a fucking flashlight.
Didn't you also
And
say that
then,
he had a briefcase, like, handcuffed to his...
Yeah, we'll get to that. So anyways,
Oh, wow.
for one, I break my phone because like it's pitch black in the, like this was before there was any houses around us. So we were just straight ranch house still. And then like I'm one, very frantic because someone just got shot on my property.
Sure.
And then two, I'm like going around like the corner of my house, like someone could be on the other side. And then I hear like some rustling behind my little storage area back there. So I like run over there and I like go to pull my phone out to use the flashlight. And I just launch my phone. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh, Siri.
my God.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think my Siri just dialed 911. We were talking about dialing 911 in a story, and I think my phone just Siri dialed it.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so sorry.
That's okay. I'm glad everybody's all right.
Yeah.
Oh my
You too. Bye bye.
That is nuts.
Now it works.
Oh my God. I was like,
God.
do you guys hear
I
that?
know.
I was like, is this just like background? Like,
Dude,
what's
I thought
going-
you were putting
Now
it
it
in the video
chooses to
for the
work.
story. I was
Oh
like
my
tripping
God.
out right there. That
I
was
gotta
nuts.
clip that one. Anyways, okay. So I like pull my phone out, launch my phone because I tried to pull it out of my right hand had a gun, and my left hand I tried to like reach out of my right pocket and pull out the flashlight. My phone goes flying. It just shatters on the ground, and I'm like, well, there it goes. And then it's a fucking rabbit. And then we find out later, like I walk back over there, the guy was like some tourist from Ohio who had a suitcase with him. They dropped off his suitcase, shot him, and just left him to die, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just were unlucky.
It was just
happened to be
just
your
because
yard,
we're
yeah.
like a ranch house,
Yeah.
like on the first or last exit out of Las Vegas, and it's like dark area. So just if you were to shoot someone and drop them off, it kind of seems like the most logical place.
Yeah.
In reality, it's just
Makes
totally
sense.
random house. But I cannot believe you called 911. So do not say, "Hey Siri." Let's not do it again.
Phones are listening. I want to put it down.
That was
Phone is listening
Really
to
great,
everything
though.
Dude,
nowadays.
that was trippy. That was so trippy.
So, yeah, your phone. That's another weird thing. Your phone listens to
I
everything you
know.
say. So you got to be really careful if you say some things
Oh, yeah.
that maybe like the government doesn't want you to say or something. Your phone knows.
Yeah, I read a lot of that stuff on Reddit. Like some people were talking about whether that's like terrorist related things, and like government people showed up and like met them at a park one day and just was like checked in on them.
Oh yeah.
It was
it's-
Reddit, so I think it's true, but
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? But I know that
Stuff's
I
trippy.
see advertisements all the time about things that I was just talking about. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like this thing is like a full-on tracking device. I'm like, you could find anyone nowadays with a phone, and you can find
True.
out anything about them.
wasn't it that kid that learned or he figured out he was tracking Elon Musk's like private jet, and it's like I think it was this week, and Musk is trying to pay him off to like get like to stop basically, but he like figured out how to track almost like any private jet, and he's
Well, he
tracking
offered him,
all the
like-
like
He offered him like $50,000 to stop tracking his jet, and the kid's like, no.
it's all like happening on
Straight
Twitter
trolling,
too. It was
bro.
really funny.
Well, he's probably thinking, it's like, this guy's got like, what, $100 billion, if not $200 billion.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
at
50,000. I could get way more out of this
Right.
guy.
It's just some
Just
kid
gonna-
in his bedroom. It's awesome.
Just going to follow him
His mom
around.
standing like right behind him, like, no, we're doing more.
Oh, yeah.
Go for the college education.
That's-
Speaking of really rich people, so a bunch of the guys did the Saudi Arabia gig recently.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I won't like give them numbers or anything because we're whatever. But Chris had contacted me about doing the gig, and for some reason, some extension didn't go through, so I didn't do it, and a couple other guys didn't do it. But the money's like insane, right? Like it's so much, and it's funny because I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, like we talk about like Bill Gates and Elon Musk and all these guys, and we're like, yeah, Jeff Bezos, they're the richest guys in the world, and they're like so far from the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
Like there's
Which
all
is
these like
publicly the richest
Saudi
people.
Arabian sheiks that have way more, like they could wipe their ass with the
Yeah.
money Elon Musk has. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of bonkers to think about.
Yeah, I've been to Dubai once, and that was a crazy sight. You know, like everything, like they don't have normal walls there. Every single wall is decorated, fully architectured out. Like it's crazy how much money they have over in that area.
Oh yeah.
I wish we had that here.
What they said, they just like leave like a Ferrari on the side of the road because it broke down, and so they'll just like leave it there and be like, it's fine, I'll just get another one.
Yeah, basically, that's crazy. Speaking of, have you guys ever been to Hawaii?
No, I want to
Awesome.
go.
No,
though.
That
Oh
is
man,
nice.
That is a
that just
must
popped up
go.
in my head when you said that. But like, there's this thing called Rotana, and Julian told me I had to do that when I went there. And you just drive along the side of the highway, and there's just cars that were stolen, and they just like, this is like the most scenic area of Hawaii, and people just take cars there, light them on fire, and then just leave them there. So the whole entire drive, there's just broken down, burned up cars on the road. Like,
Oh wow.
the
For
thieves
fun?
out there
Oh,
are
thieves,
crazy.
okay.
Yeah, no, they just steal stuff and they just leave it on the side, and it's like the most scenic road in Hawaii.
That's so
Why would you
weird.
steal something just to burn it?
I think they probably take all the things that are in
Oh,
it,
okay,
and then
okay.
they burn it, so there's no evidence, I
Got it,
guess.
got it.
It's crazy. Hawaii is also crazy. I loved Hawaii, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Well, now it just like pretty much sucks, right? Like with
Yeah.
all the COVID restrictions still in Hawaii, and like I'm
COVID
hearing-
restrictions
But
suck
I think even
in
the
total.
imports are like it's
Yeah.
really like the locals are struggling even with like food, and then all the
Oh, yeah.
tourists come over and all the food is going towards tourism.
I don't know if this is like a myth either or what, but like I heard that Hawaii is moving toward the direction of like you can't even go there without a vaccine card.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
It's probably true.
yeah, with the way a lot of things are going,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be
California's
surprised.
like that. You can't go in a restaurant or
LA
anything.
anyway.
Yeah,
So
LA
San
is-
Diego, like San Diego, Orange
Orange
County,
County.
like you,
They don't care.
Yeah, nobody
LA and
nobody
SF
cares.
though.
Yeah.
I'd avoid the Bay.
The Bay's probably worse than LA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to see Seven Fingers, but we couldn't. I was really sad.
Oh,
One day.
Damn.
That would have been nice. 7 Fingers is dope.
Yeah. But even like the thing that blows my mind more is like companies like Cirque du Soleil, like you can't work for them if you're not vaccinated.
I know a lot of people that are not able to work for them. They get offered contracts and then they can't do it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know. I don't want to get too into that stuff because
For sure.
the
For sure.
podcast
You don't want to
freaking-
get flagged.
it will. I'm already on it's thin ice with.
Gotta cut the
Google
the
and
last
stuff.
5 minutes out of here.
Yeah, it's fine though. You guys still doing the TikToks, huh?
Dude, TikTok is
Yeah.
awesome. I don't understand why.
Full-time,
Like,
that's where it's at.
okay, I don't know why more people don't do social media. Like, I understand aspects of it. Like, you know, maybe somebody just does. Either their career is already they're making so much money that why would they do it? You know what I mean? Or, whatever. But as far as like an acrobat in this world of like gigging here and there, get on social media, especially TikTok. Like,
You have nothing to
screw
lose.
you have nothing to lose. Screw Instagram. Like, TikTok is paying out so much money with, and the thing is like companies are paying it out. So you're not going to get very much from TikTok themselves, but the ads that you'll get on TikTok is where the money is. And like for us, it's been incredible because
You have
know,
4 million followers though.
I have 4 million. She has 4.1. You know what I mean? Or I have 4.1.
Yeah.
And she has 4 million, so I'm still I'm ahead by this much. But that'll disappear
there.
soon. Yeah, but like we've also been like posting consistently, you know what I mean? Like for the last
Since pandemic started.
2
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And like that, I think that's the thing is like 2 years, I now make more money from a post than I do. Like, man, we did this San Jose with All Wheels, right? The Night Walkers.
Yeah.
I made more money in one post on TikTok than I did for the entire contract.
Wow.
Like,
Oh.
and that took me 2 years to get to that place. So like anyone that jumps on a TikTok and goes, I'm just going to be consistent for 2 years. There you go. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and you know, right? Like
Yeah.
you guys both know you've
Yeah.
done gig work back and back. Like I've done it and she's done it, and you make enough money to survive until like that next gig. And
Yeah.
it's just, it sucks for performers like that.
Yeah. I personally am a little too old to do TikTok. I can't, like, I just don't like watching it, one.
Sure.
Like, I don't like the short form content. And two, I do kind of consider myself retired from acrobatics. So it's
Fair
really
enough,
hard
yeah.
for me to go out and try to do something that's decently hard or something. My
For
body
sure,
hurts.
But you also
Well, look at
got
me.
your thing going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got off access, you've got your YouTube going, like, and
Yeah.
just social media in general.
You don't have to
But-
do tricks.
Yeah,
You can
I would
just
love
talk.
to do like off axis for TikTok. We just have not had any videos do decent on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm wasting my time. And YouTube does so well for me.
Mm.
So I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know. It's kind of like
100%.
freedom,
That's
you know?
really
It's
cool.
passive income.
My mentality is like if YouTube is doing really well for you, then stick like
Mhm.
90% of your time on YouTube and then pour the other 10% into, you know, Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
You know what I
YouTube's
mean?
sticking, that's really cool because I know people can struggle with each platform. So that's
For sure.
awesome. We're trying to learn YouTube right now.
Yeah. Or just
Yeah.
like post. Just keep posting. But like especially for like you know what I mean? You're in the same boat I am, or a lot of people just post. Like okay, I'm gonna call Marley Webster out just a little
We
bit.
talked about it yesterday.
We
so
talked.
It's
We
fine.
talked about it, yesterday. So it's, but like he's got 1.7 million on TikTok, and I'm like, bro, just post more. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, because you can really make at least the same amount in the year that you will performing. You know what I mean? That's now you just doubled
Yeah.
your income.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a huge, it's like low hanging fruit that he's just not grabbing because he's like, well, there's other fruit over here.
He will. He keeps
I'm
saying
sure he
he's
will.
gonna post more, but
Yeah, it's just it's hard to get onto that like consistency
It
of
is.
like posting, you know.
well, because you have to remove the emotional aspect,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do
Yeah.
because everyone gets too emotionally invested into social media.
Mm.
I actually was talking about this with the guys last night. It was just along that emotional aspect of getting too invested in something. So like when myself and like Jake and all that, we kind of blew up on TikTok, you know, right as the pandemic was like taking place. And it was cool because now we see more people on Trampwall than ever before. Little kids
Dude,
at
yeah.
parks and
Yeah.
it's popping up all over the place, which is so sick. But what I'm seeing negatively in that aspect is that they're just hucking shit. Like, terrible technique, terrible form. Like, everything looks rough. And it's because all they see is they jump on TikTok or they jump on Instagram and they see Jake doing double Jonah ball out, or Garrett doing something, or whoever else.
Yeah.
And they're doing a high level trick. But the part that they're not seeing is the year of training, which took for them to go, okay, now I'm like mentally prepared to throw this trick.
Yeah.
And we have these like little kids that are just like, I'm just gonna huck it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this 2 months. That's long enough, right? Like,
It's hard to get those tutorial videos to start popping though.
Oh,
to get
100%.
people to see that. But I feel like with the way that Scott McDonald, the way that he's doing the Trampwall tutorials is really cool though. I've watched
It's
a couple
awesome.
of them and I'm just like, wow, like people could really follow along with this,
It's
and like,
awesome.
start doing it better.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I want to do, pardon me, is do a tour like of the U.S. and just hit the tramp parks, hit the tramp walls, whatever, where like kids are at, and just be like, yo, I'm just here to like help out and give some pointers, and like, I don't know, I guess you could call it a workshop or not, but just to give some guidance and like pacing,
Yeah, you should.
I think it'd be sick. I think it'd be a blast. you
Yeah.
know?
Tour the whole country. I did that with Razor a while ago. It was kind of the same thing. We would like go around to all the shops that sold Razor stuff, sign autographs, do little demos and stuff. It was like one of the funnest months ever. And you can like really make some good money while doing it too, especially if you do it right,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would attract a pretty big audience too. 8 million followers.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll be fun.
Yeah. It'd be dope for sure.
Yeah, if you need another Red Bull or something, there's more drinks in that refrigerator.
Is there a Red Bull in the refrigerator?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe. I know there's beer in there. And
Yeah, there's a lot
the
of
I'm on the sober
Zevia cans.
train,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, me too. This is like my
I,
alcohol. Is
so-
these sodas.
I know, I've been drinking Topo Chico
We've
like
been
3
doing
times
this,
a day
so
because we're not drinking.
We haven't had alcohol in 3 or 4 months now, and I don't think I've smoked weed in over a year and a half.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna disclose what's in this cup.
And then he's, but that's the personal decision.
Yeah. No, I did the same thing. January 1st this year, I was like, I got to stop drinking. Like,
Yeah.
it costs me way too much money. I'm not productive. I get fat. Like,
Right.
there's so many things that go bad with drinking alcohol. I can't really think of any benefits of it. And now I feel so good. Like, it just feels good to be sober,
Yeah,
And like, you just,
For sure.
Well,
you wake up
the
feeling
pandemic in
good.
general just threw such a wrench in everyone's plans, and
Yeah.
it felt like drinking, especially like, I don't know, it just turned into like a daily thing that I
Dude,
had
I was-
no threshold for discomfort.
I was putting whiskey in my coffee every morning for over a month. And
Partying
like,
with the
I thought
roomies.
Dylan was doing it with me, right? And Dylan quit after like 2 weeks, and I thought we were still doing it together.
Oh, man.
Also, since I was living with all the boys, I forget like, oh, I'm a girl. I can't drink as much as boys, and yeah, it was not good for me. I was a little donkey see, monkey do with my habits, and so I was like, I gotta turn this around.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel it. And like for us, moving into a log cabin with a bar in the basement was not ideal. I mean, it was ideal to be honest. Right before the whole world gets shut down and locked down, and like you guys came to that Trampwall.
Yeah.
Or you came to that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
literally the day that the world shut down, and we were all. I was like at the grocery store buying toilet paper for just because I knew there would be a lot of people at our house. I was like, a couple hundred people are gonna show up. Probably should get some more toilet paper.
Right.
And I go there, and everyone's freaking out, just pulling everything off the shelves, and I'm like. I'm throwing a Trampwall competition today. Should I be freaking out and like stocking up on food? Because what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, should I be taking this more seriously?
Oh,
It was
man.
like March 13th or something, 2020.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember because I almost died at that competition. It was the only time I've come that close to dying in Trampwall. It was awesome.
Literally.
Oh, when you smacked the backboard, it almost
Yeah.
like tipped over.
And,
Oh
we-
my
It
broke
we
the
had,
backboard. There's a
Caleb
death
catch
drop
me.
on the other side. After that crash, I literally think different about like, for one, anytime someone goes too high and does like a swan dive ball out in a show or something, I'm like, yo, just tune it down a bit.
Yeah.
Because Max almost did the same thing. Max in San Antonio used to do these huge pops, and then he would do a giant swan ball out, and he did a ball out, and his feet landed on top of the wall, and everyone in the show like grabbed him from
Oh
falling
my
off the
gosh.
back. It was a scary moment, but for me,
Yeah.
backboards are like a non-negotiable in contracts.
Oh, for sure.
And like we had I'm not gonna say who it was, but we had a client recently ask like, do you guys really need the back railing? And I'm like,
yeah.
no, we need a back board, like the whole board and everything. Like I'm not doing
Right.
a death drop on one side. And they were like, oh, we normally just use the curtain. And I was like, curtain? Are you like, you're dead, you know? Like
It's not
I don't
Russian
know.
swing. No one's holding it there. You're like, you're not gonna slide down it.
I will say the standard for performing should increase.
Yeah.
It's like even something as small as whenever we train, we have just like 2-inch carpet bonded foam on top of the wall, and it's just so nice, right? It's like it makes, and I think every fucking performance should have one because it doesn't there's no negative side to it, right? It doesn't look any worse.
Yeah.
From an audience perspective, and if anything, you just get a slightly softer landing every time, and like if you're in a show 300 times, you have 300 shows over the summer. Like you're gonna fuck up a couple times. It's just gonna happen, and I'd rather land on something soft.
Yeah.
Personally, you
Yeah.
know.
We always have the foam mat on top.
Do
We
you?
gotta
Okay.
He
always
just upgraded. It's nice.
always have a
Nice.
foam mat. Always have a solid backboard, and I always have the side railing. So there's no like our wall is very safe for a show wall.
I think that's phenomenal. I think every company should do that. The only reason I could see why you wouldn't is if you had a spine, and then I get it. But
Yeah, I had a super crazy experience in 2012. One of our BMX riders almost died in an all-wheel show doing Trampwall. So we had windows, and this guy, Larry Edgar's a pro BMX rider. There was this comedy bit, though, where we'd all bounce on the trampolines and everything, and then Kyle Banks would jump off of it was like 14-foot wall from the trampoline, huge. He would jump off with an inflatable zebra in his hand, and he jumped out of the window as Larry jumped out of the window. Larry was supposed to jump out of the other window and splatted him and broke all of his ribs, lacerated like everything inside of him, got airlifted out of there, almost died. And
so
like,
did he like hit the tramp and then like smack up into him?
Oh, no, it's like
man.
kaboom, like straight into each other.
this is
And-
my issue with all wheel shows. I'm sorry, Jill, if you see this. I love Jill and I love all wheels, but the like slight, like even in San Jose we had this BMX rider CJ who nice enough kid, but like I'm sorry, I don't want you on the wall. Like
I recommended to CJ.
No, great BMX rider, great BMX
Right,
rider.
yeah.
But I just don't want people on the wall that aren't capable of
Yeah.
wall and don't have that
The
understanding.
etiquette.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you
Yeah.
trying to ride a scooter or something.
Bro, don't put me in a scooter act. You know what I mean?
That's how you get hurt. Yeah.
Was this
I will
just
die. I'll
training,
kill somebody.
or was it mid-show?
This was mid-show. Can you come a little closer to the mic, by the way?
Sorry. So did he just mess up with the window he was supposed to go out of?
He was supposed to go out of the other window. So he was supposed to go out, and Kyle was supposed to jump off on one. It was a spine wall, basically.
Okay.
And he was supposed to go in and cross as Kyle jumps off with the zebra on the other side. And I don't know. I just
That's like
guess
a
he
s-
mind
weird
blanked, and
thing
he's
to
like,
mess up,
he'd been
yeah.
practicing Trampwall like between shows, and he really wanted to do like one trick. So like he jumped out of the wrong window and just got splatted, and literally was in the hospital for like 3 weeks, and we kept getting calls like he might die tonight and like crazy stuff, to where like I am like safety man on every set. Like ask Dylan, I tell him all the time like, hey, that's too dangerous, like let's keep that out of the show. Or like
Yeah.
I don't like running desync during the show, like for the ending tricks and stuff, but I don't like 3 people on the wall. Like I'm down with juggling because it wouldn't
Okay.
be that bad, but I've seen what can go wrong when someone gets landed on. Or like even like Will Farlow, did you guys see that when he got double bounced and flew over the
That's
whole wall?
iconic.
Oh my.
That's
So,
iconic
like,
in Trampwall, dude.
I just know that
nuts.
the margin of error is not that. It's we're usually comfortable, but all it takes is one slip or something.
For sure.
And I'm like, the audience doesn't really care if we all do 3 swan dives next to each other. 2 is fine, and 3, like it's comfortable if you're just doing like rapid fire or something. But I don't
sure.
like to. I think of like, if we're doing this for 2 months, something can eventually go wrong. And there's every contract, there's eventually like a desync that gets a little close, and then someone gets double bounced or something. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, especially the long, like an all-wheel show or whatever where you're doing 3 shows a day. Like, yeah, easily. Stuff gets weird.
What?
No, I think it is. It's counting.
Okay, we're good.
How
That
was
was
the
scary.
how was the guy that sandwiched him?
He is good. He's one of the top competitors in the X Games right now, actually.
Okay.
So he's doing well.
Dude, yeah.
But so if you smush someone, you're normally fine. It's just the person that gets smushed that's hospitalized.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah.
I feel
I
like
mean,
that's
like
normally how it
all,
goes.
back
yeah.
versus
Back
like
muscles
stomach. He
and
got
all of that.
and Kyle was significantly bigger than him. So
Yeah.
Kyle's a tank.
At the Send It house, he has huskies, and they haven't run on, but there's been a few close calls, and I'm being so scared to land on a dog.
The dog
Oh,
would
yeah,
die.
that
You
is
would kill the dog.
I think
yeah.
I would kill the dog. Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, you
I don't know what
probably
happened
would.
to me either. I would.
That happened over at Max J's dad's house, Jeff J's house. The pits were outside, and I had jumped in, and then ball got thrown. Pit ran right under the trampoline. I just barely hit its ass, and then it slid out. And I was like, "Oh my god,
yeah.
I'm so happy I didn't hit like the midsection of that dog."
Dude.
Oh man, it would have sucked.
Trampolines are dangerous. Like there should be
100%.
there should be something around it where no one can go under it
Yeah.
because you never know.
We need more in-ground trampolines.
Yeah, like we did a half pipe gig last week, and out of nowhere in the middle of the party when we're riding the half pipe, this drunk girl tries to run up the quarter pipe in heels with some wine or something like that, and just slips and like. Thank God she was okay, but you just never know with people. Like, they're unpredictable, especially like at a show when there's people drinking and stuff. Someone could go into the trampoline, or you never know.
Well, the guy that went through the window, and even our friends, it's like if you're new and you don't realize you should call like either HUP or trampoline or dropping. Like, there's been so many injuries, even with our friends in the last year and a half of accidentally dropping in at the same time, just because you get so comfortable.
Yeah,
And
Mo
they're out
lost
for so long.
Oh,
broke
yeah.
the ACL. Like, yeah.
That was
I mean,
disgusting.
yeah, that was just casually rehearsing, and I'm like, if we forget that if we zone out,
It's
he
just
was out for a year. But
yeah.
luckily, he's great now. It's good as new.
Yeah, we watched Jackass last night, and I'm just. Have you guys seen it yet?
No.
Oh
Not yet.
man,
We have
The new one?
yeah. And all I can think about is like, how has no one died on this set?
know.
Like the things they're doing, like it's so easy. Someone could get killed, and on top of that, like there's no way that these guys are all infertile. Like they just
Oh, yeah.
smash each other's nuts all the time, and
we actually taught one of the guys Trampwall in that movie. The really, really big guy, Zach.
the big guy.
Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in like all of the stuff. He's like their stunt double or stunt dummy.
He
like,
ragdolls
Watching that man on a
so
Trampwall was like,
Oh,
holy
man.
shit.
that. There's also a lot of dicks in that movie. It was like, dude,
It was dick
chill
galore.
with the
It was
dicks,
a
guys.
Dickalopolis, bro. It was crazy.
Too much dicks.
Well, because he's done the movie like Bad Grandpa, right? Or the ones where it's like not Jackass, but it's him doing all the stunts. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure some of them he'll like get injured, and then they have to pause production for like a year until
Yeah.
he heals, so then they can just
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah, he got hit by a bull in this recent one and broke his arm and everything.
There was the
like-
one where they made the water park. That one, I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But he like gets slammed into the side of like a cabin, and I'm pretty sure he broke tons of bones.
Yeah, totally random actually. When I first moved to Vegas, the first gig that I got was that movie. I forget what it was called, something about the water parks, but he was having a movie opening, and I was a professional beer pong referee at his party.
That's awesome.
So I like met him and everything, and I was like the beer pong referee for all the celebrity people that were in the movie. Professional
Nice.
beer pong referee.
Nice.
Do you feel like you were qualified for that position?
I do actually. I'm really good at
Nice.
beer pong, to be honest.
Okay.
I played a lot when I was younger.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you guys are married now.
Oh, yeah, dude.
How's marriage life? How's life changed?
It would be sick if we had a house.
Yeah, I feel like
No, it is cool.
yeah, we're great as a couple. Life just keeps throwing shit at us, and we're just hitting it down. So I feel like once life calms down, I can't even. It's gonna be so much easier than what we've been facing
Having
this
to
last
deal
year.
with, yeah.
Again,
Is there
nothing
a,
having to do with us, but
Is there a souped up soccer mom van in the future?
No,
Oh,
never.
no.
No.
No,
Screw that.
no minivans.
no minivans. No, it's been really good. Yeah, we've been traveling so much. We did 2 contracts, or you did 1. I
3,
did.
Yeah.
Oh, we've done a few contracts, but
No, it's been cool. I mean, the social media stuff has really been the challenge, and like finding a balance. Like, if we're gonna do a contract, how do we maintain our social media presence on a contract?
Yeah,
You know, And
that's crucial.
Yeah, it's
Because social media is more
difficult.
of a career.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people, like, there's a difference between the ways you make income. And, like, a show is like a 1-to-1. You do 1 day of shows, you get 1 day of shows pay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing after that, especially if you're working for someone else like Cirque du Soleil and no one's marketing your name. There's no reward that comes with that other than you have fun and you get money back, you know? But if you do things like YouTube, for example, or for example, like my shoe company, if I work on a YouTube video, that video multiplies and gets more viewers and it grows like exponentially, basically. The more you put out, the more it goes up. You know, you don't see a one-to-one income coming back from that.
Yeah, 100%.
And same thing with the shoes. You know, when someone's wearing a pair of shoes, those shoes sell themselves. Another person buys it. So when you think about it, shows are, I mean, we all know this. It's like a dead-end job unless you're doing something like Nitro Circus where they're actually promoting you, which is something that I focus on with Off Axis is make sure that the guys are getting promotion and that kind of stuff. That way they get something back from it at the end of the contract versus just a paycheck.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I think too many circus acrobats are just focused on like getting into Cirque du Soleil. They don't realize Cirque du Soleil is kind of a dead end job, and that was really exposed in the pandemic when a lot of people lost their benefits and stuff.
Oh man,
it was like they thought it was secure, and then 2 weeks later, they're without a job. Le Rev people didn't even have a show to come back to, and they're just stuck, you know. And you're left with nothing, and then it's like, oh, now do I become a plumber or what? Like so many people are just doing random things that was like, what, we have all these acrobats. Like my friends were doing like flooring, they were building houses, like all kinds of stuff. So I always encourage people, like focus on something that's like, especially kind of passive income, but things that you can do
long run
forever. For me, long run, that's why my YouTube channel is just me talking, because I can talk forever, you know. It was all Trampwall, you know. I did a Trampwall vlog every day for a whole year. It's not really sustainable, and back then no one else was doing Trampwall vlogs. Like I don't even know if you were doing Trampwall yet at the time. It was just
not.
me. So it was like,
I was probably getting, you know, kicked by a bull at the time.
You should know all about the bull riding stuff. Yeah, I forget that you were like a bull rider. Have you been hit by a bull like full on?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I broke ribs because he helped me to the ground with his hooves.
Oh man, you should have jumped in there with Johnny Knoxville.
Right.
Dude, so you've been ragdolled by a bull before?
Oh, for sure, dude. It's painful.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Partial tear, MCL. Like I had all kinds of issues. Yeah,
dude.
That's why I got into Trampwall, because I looked around me and I was like, oh, these guys are like not making any money, and it's like dead end, right?
Yeah.
And then now I got into Trampwall and I'm doing that for a while, and I'm like, oh no, like this is the same thing, just a step ahead. You know what I mean? Performing, like you're making enough money to survive, but that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, that's just not enough.
Yeah.
You gotta have that side hustle.
You gotta have. I always tell people like 3 streams of income is like something. It can be one main one, but you want to have a backup plan. If you don't have a backup plan, you get left with nothing, and then you spend months trying to figure out like, what am I gonna do for a living now? Should I go to school again or something?
Right. Yeah.
You know. And fortunately, I was surrounded by the same kind of thing as bull riding. I was around extreme sports, and I was like, man, I'm like at the top of the scooter world. Yeah. I'm making decent money, but how long is this going to last? I was already going to the competitions like, these kids are hucking and they're like getting seriously hurt. I don't have that in me anymore. Like,
right there, at some point you're gonna age out a little bit, in the sense that you're not gonna throw anything like you did, you know, and somebody else is, and you're obsolete, right? And that's how that world works. Yeah. And I think about that with Trampwall a little bit, which is why I'm like doing, you know, the social media, because I just genuinely enjoy Trampwall. That's why I do it. But I can't, you know, Anthony Brew, even you, like I can't keep up with you. And I mean, or well, Anthony
you've
Brew,
been marketing
you know?
Yourself way better than us though. Like
100%.
Like it all goes into marketing everything.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Putting the personality in the videos is crucial too, because otherwise, like if you guys didn't have any close-ups and it was just you doing like Trampwall tricks from afar away, like you probably wouldn't have actual fans, you know, you'd have followers and stuff, right? But people wouldn't resonate with you, rather than like if you're a YouTuber, I swear to God, it's like a different ballgame, because people watch you, they know you personally. Like I just met someone at McDonald's the other day, and he was like freaking out. He knew everything about me, and I was like, this is weird, but it's cool, you know. Like if I was just doing like scooter clips like I used to, people wouldn't recognize me unless I was in the skate park or something. Sure. But like putting that personality into your content is so crucial.
And the hardest part about it, though, that I've noticed is, so I get this from people all the time when I tell them, hey, get on a TikTok, start doing this, get on Instagram, get on YouTube, whatever it is, right? I always get the response, well, I want to maintain my authenticity.
That's a thing.
But what it is translates to, I'm really scared to put myself out there like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's all it is. And it's like, it's insecurity. It's not authenticity. Yeah. You can still be authentic. Thank you. And still do like funny skits or tricks or show your personality on camera. You know, that's all possible. But it's the, you know, how long do I have to post before this finally blows up, or will it ever? You know, and these like
So you
these
don't
like
have to
doubts.
do TikTok dances. I mean, it's fun sometimes.
Yeah, I've never done a TikTok.
But like, there's
dance.
this one girl. She's like a house cleaner, and now she's like sponsored by Scrub Daddy and like this dish soap. And I'm like, why do I know this like person that cleans houses for a living? Why do I know her whole life? And why do I love her? And
Yeah.
she's crushing it. I'm like, she's literally just.
We're in a new age of social media where there is no elite anymore.
Yeah.
Right? It's a level playing field of anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool. I mean, she watches a mom that has 2 kids, and this woman just feeds her children. That's it. She's a single mom with 2 babies. And she's just like, here's your bottle. And then millions of views. People love it. And I'm like, I don't understand it, obviously.
Well, 'cause
but
she was a single mom. She could hold both babies with one
she's,
arm
like, holding
while
them and,
making
like-
their formula and telling a story. And it's just awesome. And everyone watches it.
Super
pay
mom.
their child support, and she gets views. And you know.
And she's making tons of money from the creator fund, you know, because of every video is viral. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
I feel like there's millions of people that also don't get to see that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that don't have a family to go back to, and when they see
Right.
that, it's like, damn,
Yeah, like
kind of want that now.
Sure.
Now it's something to work towards in life. You know,
sure.
it's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's leveled the playing field of social media. There's no more like you have to be elite to get there kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you could be anyone, literally. Like, I kind of started this trend of DoorDash videos on
Right.
YouTube of like me. It just started off as all extreme sports videos, and then I was like, I'm just gonna like drive around and show, like, talk to people while I make money. And then last thing I thought was those videos would blow up, but then I realized there's so many people that are making DoorDash videos
Yeah.
and just out there trying to make enough money to get by, just like me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like people resonated with it, so the channel like blew up just based on those DoorDash videos. Like, I spent like 3 years making extreme sports videos,
Yeah.
and then I make this one Postmates video, and it just goes crazy. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna start uploading more Postmates videos because that's the most logical thing to do right now.
Yeah.
If I mimicked that format, would you be mad?
No,
Can I
you
credit
should
you?
totally do.
I'll credit
And to be honest, those videos that I make pay 10 times more
Yeah.
for ad revenue than like a normal video of Trampwall would. Trampwall makes like garbage money on ad revenue because
Right.
no one can advertise on it. But like my DoorDash videos are very, very advertiser friendly. I'm talking about how to make more money and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm making like 10 times more than a typical person would. And just to be transparent, it's around like,
how many subscribers do you have?
so 15,000, and
So
that
15,
translates to
yeah.
about $3,000 a month.
That's
and
insane.
that doesn't include, there's so many other things on there, like my affiliate links. I put all kinds of affiliate links, or my crypto links. Like if someone
Right.
signs up, I get a free some kind of crypto or something like that. So it's just like the ultimate source of passive income. I think of it as like the tree, and then there's all these branches because I'm also selling my shoes off of there. I've sold shows off of there. And then the affiliate links, I've made up to like 10 grand in 1 month just off of people clicking these
I've
little
been meaning
apps
to.
and stuff and signing up.
Get after that.
That's amazing.
So it's like you don't need. That's why YouTube for me, I was like, you don't need that. And I was making money at like 5,000 followers or something, or even less, I believe.
Sure.
And it's just, I drive to the gym, and then I drive to the post office to drop off the shoe orders, and then I drive home, and that's my video. And I just ramble about whatever I want to talk about. Sometimes I'll react to like dumb TikTok videos, and
Yep.
it's just like me talking to myself like a crazy person.
How long
I
does
was
the
in the
editing
car with
take
him.
for you? Do those
0
zero?
minutes.
Do you not edit
I-
at all? You just
No, I don't even edit. I don't even
love
edit me stopping record between clips. I put it all in there. I'm like, because I used to use drones and multiple cameras for my old vlogs and stuff, and it was like a whole production.
yeah.
Didn't make any money off it. I stopped editing, and I just talk, and people like the content significantly more because they can like resonate with it. So simplifying everything made it way easier. Plus, it's all raw clips, and people understand there's no editing and stuff.
Yeah.
And the editing isn't sustainable. Like, I know so many editors, like Austin Bradley. Every time I talk to him, he's like, I got so much content that I need to edit. And I'm like, dude, if I film something, it's edited that day, and
Yeah.
that's it. I cannot stack up edits and stuff
Yeah.
because editing just takes so much time, and it's not
brutal.
sustainable.
Yeah. I know that's our. Once we get to that point financially, we just want to hire somebody to edit our videos.
Yeah,
Like-
that's another thing you could do.
It's way easier, and I mean, what we were talking to somebody, they pay them like what $800 a month, and it's 2 videos a week, I think.
Yeah,
So it's amazing.
2 videos a month.
2 videos a week.
Oh, 2 videos a week.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 200 a video, so maybe
Oh, is
they're getting 4. It might have been a little more.
Maybe it was
yeah.
4 videos.
Yeah.
So it was like 200 a video. So like as long as you're making at least $1,000 on that video,
yeah.
you know, an ad revenue or whatever.
For
I
YouTube?
think that
You're good.
was
For YouTube,
That was
yeah.
like
Okay.
minimum or like 4 hours of video, so about $50 an hour.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
problem with YouTube is you have to do daily, otherwise they don't promote your channel at all. The moment I switched to daily videos, it like went up exponentially. Yeah,
Really?
it's because YouTube thinks of themselves as TV. They want people on their platform as long as possible.
Right.
So the more content you put out, the more they show it to people because they know that this is going to keep coming.
Yeah.
And then I switched to like 2 or 3 times a week when we were doing a lot of shows, and it just killed my channel completely.
Wow.
So it went back to daily videos, and it's just as simple as like,
I think that was Casey Neistat, right? That did daily
Yeah.
videos, and
Yep.
then he stopped doing
Long
it, and
time.
yeah,
you know he did it forever. And then when he stopped doing it, it was just like done.
Yeah.
And then he had to. I think he's gotten back into stuff.
Well,
but,
he has enough of a following that he can
yeah.
take breaks.
But even that, like the drop after doing daily videos,
yeah.
was huge.
Huge. Yeah. That's a crazy thing about YouTube, but it's a full-time job basically. And that's why I kind of put out as much half-ass videos as I possibly can. Like,
Yeah.
it's true though. Like if you put like I made a couple of videos where I put like so much effort into it, and
Yeah.
then they just don't go, and then the
Definitely.
video that just has a good title just goes crazy, you know? That's all that really matters is the
Right.
titles.
Yeah. I'll have to get into that because, I mean, you guys know I've only been doing Trampwall for barely 2 years, and I'm still like beginner intermediate realm, but
You're getting there.
I have the following because it's relatable. Obviously, it's like keyword we've been talking about is like it took off because I show me eating shit
Yeah.
and like show the struggle. And I'm definitely not the fastest learner, but it's fine. And so translating that to YouTube. So even if that's just daily vlogs, I feel like people love that.
I loved the rainbow wall stuff.
Oh,
That
dude.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
We're about to set it back up. Come
Oh,
on.
yeah?
Yeah, it's
way.
coming back up.
Yeah, we're doing the fall broadcast from March through the end of May.
The same
And,
fall
Same
broadcast?
house. The owner's letting us do the Tramp in ground, which I'm incredibly excited about.
That's awesome.
And
it's
then,
life-changing.
Then we'll have the rainbow as well. So yeah,
Dude, I
guys,
need to
come on
come
out.
out.
Like
That's
house.
crazy.
That house
Same
is such
house.
a hidden gem. She's charging us 45.
Yeah,
I
45 a
I
month.
went to that house one time and I just like walked around it,
It's huge.
and it just goes forever, you know?
I wish it was more flat because then there'd just be so much
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have questions for Dylan.
Okay.
If I
Questionnaire.
I want to ask you just completely unfiltered questions if
All
that's
right.
cool with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. I'm just not going to filter this at all. Because this is actually, I think this is the first time I've met you in person.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think so.
It
Yeah,
is.
okay.
there. Hilarious.
So, first off, you're absolutely fucked on the wall. Like, it's incredible,
Thank
dude.
you.
Watching you has been so much fun. I know nothing about you. Like, when did you start Trampwall?
Man, I would say probably back in like 2014,
Okay.
2013. Yeah, my buddy Cameron took me to a place called HKPK, which I ended up coaching at.
Okay.
And it was literally the best gym that I've ever been to in my entire
Right,
life.
yeah, I've seen the old videos of the place.
Oh my gosh. And then having Dakota and Max just there, like when I first got there, and they're just like,
Right.
all over the walls. I'm just like, oh my God, I need to do this. I
Did
need
you
to-
do
I need to
gymnastics?
this. No.
Anything? Nothing. Okay.
I was all self-taught in parkour. Like I was in middle school, literally just watching YouTube videos. Had some other kid that was at school with me. We were just throwing our bodies around,
Yeah.
literally. And
That's sweet.
yeah, after all of that, I finally got into Trampwall. Then I got into tricking, and then it then branched out to like diving, and then finally like my career took off once I met him. And at that time, I was homeless, living out of a Honda Civic. Like it was nuts. And then he took
We've
me on
all
my
been
first-
there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I when I was like 20, I was homeless in a Honda Civic. I mean, everybody's done it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that was that. Still to this day, I miss that car so much, man. It's
Dude.
such a reliable car.
And next thing you know, Dylan's doing Trampwall and a G-string and a traveling circus. His
Man,
first
that is
show,
right.
basically.
That is right, yeah.
So all right, I have a question for you about Trampwall that might be sensitive, but like in the community of Trampwall, you have like a reckless reputation.
Yeah.
How do you like? what is your kind of? I want to know what your thoughts are on it.
Okay, I just want to say, the past, like, I would say 4 to 5 years, I was just like, I had just like a death wish. I didn't care. I was just hucking it just because I wanted to. Like, if I landed, I landed. If I don't, whatever, you know. And for
rightly so, you had a reckless reputation.
Yeah. But for some reason, I was just never getting seriously injured.
Sure.
And through that, I was just like, you know what? Since like I'm not getting injured, I'm just gonna keep going. And I just did. And through time and through all of the shows that I've been doing with him, I've had some very, very close calls, and it definitely put me in check, and it made me realize, like, hey, like, I can seriously die. You know, it made me realize, like, I need to cool it down for a minute, and then it really made me just change over, like, the past 2 years. I have just, like, really tried to mold myself into somebody who's more professional, who has a better form, who is doing things that I can be more efficient at, like just be very reciprocative. And so, like, say like I'm doing that full twisting 1 and 3, like I can do that at any moment in time now. Through all of that training, I was like, okay, holy shit, like I actually have this giant arsenal that I can just actually do now. So now recently I'm like, okay, Trampwall, I'm gonna chill out. We're at a really high level now. Like, Garrett and all the people down at Hoya are just launching nasty tricks. Now I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna go back to teeterboard, Russian swing, do all of my tumbling and tricking stuff now. So that's like what I'm more focused on at this point.
I do have to point out he does have a reckless like reputation, but I've hired him for like every show, and he's the best performer on stage, and he never screws up.
That's awesome.
Like, and he does. Great. The level of tricks he's doing is like levels above anyone else.
For sure.
So it's reckless, like in training, but on the stage, he's like perfect. He never gets hurt.
I've been working extremely hard to try and like get that out there with my name now. It's
that's
like,
good.
I'm not trying to be reckless.
Because that's a hard place to come back from, you know?
For real. Everybody looks at me and I'm like, hey, I want to be hired by you. And they're like,
And no offense to like anyone in Montreal, but there is a lot of people in Montreal that have a stick up their ass. Like, and I love these guys, and I think they're amazing, just like trailblazers of the sport. Canada, but like, you know, there's some guys out there that have a stick up their ass, and it can be hard to get hired in certain places because of that. You know what I mean?
I definitely sent a lot of things when I was out in Canada's Wonderland that made management just look up and go, I don't know if we should bring him back next year, boys.
Right.
Yeah.
He's hairy up there. I don't know. Because, like, up on the wall up there was some profanity up there. It was like, don't be a wussy. I'm not saying it in quotations. That's not what actually was wrote up there. But every time I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back.
That's actually a good point. I want to point this out because there is that rule 1 of Trampwall, right? Like, that's what it is.
Don't be a pussy.
And if that's your rule 1, like, okay, there's certain connotations with that phrase. You know what I mean? That doesn't line up with how you're acting. So, like, if that's your actual rule, like, what does that mean? And I know people will argue, well, it means just like when you know you're ready for it or whatever, then don't be a pussy. But, like, I don't know. I don't think I like that rule anymore because I feel like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have it both ways. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I think that was their rule until like actual people who weren't pussies came in and started doing Trampwall,
and they're going
like,
hard. Yeah.
These people are too crazy.
Right. Yeah. No. 100%.
Well, now we're also like throwing a lot of form and we're refining like all of the tricks now, and they're starting to look a lot more flashier, a lot more presentable.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing though that I don't like is that instead, and this is a common trait, it seems, just amongst a lot of different areas of sports and whatever, but is instead of like trying to like help somebody get there, you know, they just like exile them.
Yeah.
Immediately. It's like, no, you're blacklisted. Not like, let me take you under my wing and
I've been doing that a lot lately. There's been so many kids hit me up on Instagram like, hey, how do you do this? And I'll just be like, you know what? I'll send you a video in the next day or two, just like straight up. I'll show you exactly how to do it.
Right.
And then sure enough, I see a video like going through my feed. I'm like, hey, look at this guy. He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, Canada is like a whole like they have different personalities there and everything.
Oh, for sure.
So crazy Americans, and
It's almost like, hey, this is a secret art form. Don't show everyone.
there's I got a lot of slack for having Trampwall competitions and when I came around Trampwall, my first thought was like, dude, this is like scootering, but it hasn't evolved yet. And I watched scootering evolve. Like I was one of the first scooter riders, and I watched the whole thing like get bigger and bigger. And now it's like taking over everything. And I was like, man, Trampwall's kind of like the same thing. It's like hidden. And then I wanted to hold Trampwall competitions and stuff. And a lot of the older, especially like Montreal people, were not happy about me having a competition about Trampwall because they didn't want the exposure and stuff. And I was like, but the more people that know about Trampwall, the more people that get hired for Trampwall because you can't hire an act that you've never heard of.
Yeah, but how much of that, I wonder, is like, I should have done it first so he can't do it.
Oh, that was a big
thing.
thing. That was a big thing.
Like, because it's like, especially you got to think from their perspective. I'm like, no offense to you, but you're a scooter rider. Yeah. Nobody thinks of Tanner and goes, that's like high-level Trampwall artist. They think Tanner's a high-level scooter rider. And they're over there like high-level Trampwall artists. And they're like, well, what's a scooter rider doing it, hosting the thing? It's because none of you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, dude,
if nobody ever does it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that to somebody today about you, actually, was like, whether I agree with you in areas, whether I disagree with you in areas, what I can say about you always is that you're always hustling and you're always doing something to try and get yourself a little bit further along. Yeah. And that I can respect 100% of the time.
Yeah. I like to think of myself as like the juggler who throws up like 10 balls and tries to catch like 6 of them versus like someone who's just consistently juggling 3 all the time.
But it comes back to that, like, people being insecure, and that's why they don't do it. They're insecure. They don't want to fail. They're afraid of the, what happens when it falls flat kind of a thing.
Yeah. And people try to like think it over too much in their head. Like, I gotta do all this and like too much planning. It's like, no, set a date. Now we're doing this. Now I have to figure out this Trampwall competition in a month or something. That's basically what I did. And I was like, it's got to get out there now. And if it doesn't, then someone's got to do it, Otherwise, no one's going to do it. And now there's people holding Trampwall competitions and stuff.
Right.
So.
No, for sure. I mean, that's what JR's doing, right? Like, he's every so often doing a competition. Yeah. And, like, the first one started as a joke, mostly just for TikTok. And now the last one they did, it was like a $1,000 prize or something for one of the events. Like,
dude, it was nuts.
It was crazy. Yeah, you were there, right? Yeah. It looked hype.
The step up box game was absolutely off the hook, man.
Dude.
Oh my goodness, everybody was hugging it. It was great.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw another one pretty soon, and
Sweet.
I'm just like debating the layout right now. But yeah, I think we're gonna do another one soon. Now that it's like the off season and there's nothing really going on.
We could do one at Fallbrook.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Let's throw down there. Why not?
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
Let's do it.
A lot of people out there.
Yeah, that's true.
We could do a competition on the Rainbow Wall. I don't know what that would look like, but we could do it, dude.
It could be one of the events or something.
Yeah, it could be an event. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Dude, I loved the improv at the Send It competition.
That was so funny.
Like, not just because I won it, but just like all of the creation. Like, you just saw exactly who that person was in that moment, like they're just.
Can you explain it? I actually don't know.
So like they what's his face, the guy that owns Send It, he came up to the top of the wall and he was giving us subjects to do on the wall. And it was ridiculous.
So you won. What was yours?
Weren't you delivering flowers in metal or something like that?
Okay, yeah, no, I was supposed to do a screamo metal song on how excited I was for flowers to be blooming in spring. And so I said
while doing Trampwall.
It was great. And then the last one was me against Dylan Vance, and we were both like these super villains. And we both had these like outworldly superpowers. I think he like shot web out of his belly button every time he got tickled. And then I just was able to shoot like ridiculous amounts of snot out of my nose or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
And we had to prove like who is the better villain, Dylan, or something like that. So
that's amazing.
Did some ridiculous DC.
Yeah, this is why Elton was huge on Vine, dude.
His
brain is just incredible.
Yeah, I love
short
that.
form. Yeah,
it was awesome. I love being involved in that stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
I just love acting it out. It's great.
Dude, the one thing I love about social media the most has been the freedom. Like, it's just the freedom to be creative, the freedom to do what you want, like
wherever you want, whenever
you want. Yeah. we can sit on our phone all day if we want. You know what I mean? Like, and we have days like that where we just don't even do anything. We just sit there and relax all day. It's like no one in my family can do that.
Yeah.
You know, they're all 9 to 5s. They're all whatever. They're all trying to just get to the weekend so they can relax. You know?
Yeah. That's how 90% of the world is, basically. A lot of people, most people, like we were saying, don't pull the trigger. They just talk about ideas for a long period of time.
Right.
And I always tell people, like, just do it and figure it out later. Like, say yes to every opportunity and figure it out later.
Yeah.
Like, just say yes.
But
it's
it's society, dude. Because, like, what is the story that we love to tell about the light bulb? You know, how he failed all these times to then succeed, and how failure's okay.
But
society, but society is like, no, you can't fail, right?
Yeah.
You have to succeed immediately, and then you have to get here immediately, right? And it's messed up, you know, because when we have people like, and that are just getting out of high school, 19, 20, trying to go through college or whatever, and they're like, I need to succeed, and if I don't, then my life is going to be not even worth living, and it's so screwed up.
Well, that's the wild process that, I mean, us learning even the flow. If we have a month of space and if we're traveling or not, but like sometimes I literally need 3 days to fully just unload, whether that's training or whatever, and take that time, because the next day I could end up making a video that, I mean, some of my videos have hit 130 million views, and then boom, that's paying for the whole month. And then I just got an ad with KFC and Pepsi that's paying like $12K. That and sometimes like even
That's
some
huge,
people
you know?
will, like, I might need a day where I genuinely fully just lay in my room and no one talks to me, because if I don't take that, like a week later I could pay for the next 3 months.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
gotta
just
recharge.
such a different process than a 9-to-5 job where you have something to show for every single minute to track that progress, and just not getting like having friends or family that can understand how it works now, and so we take the pressure off of ourselves. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just learning how to do that.
There's a lot of stress put onto all the new creators coming out, because they all have this mindset of just like, oh, I need all of these views right now. I need to just keep like dumping stuff out, but it's just
For sure.
And it's wild for me
You need to
learning
relax a little bit.
Trampwall alongside that, because I feel like, okay, like if I don't learn a new trick, there's not going to be content. But then my motivation to learn a new trick is for people to watch, and then it's me learning my own system in my brain too of just taking the edge off.
Yeah.
That's why I like the skit side of it, though, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't need a new trick. You don't need to be pushing the envelope all the time. I posted a video that's got 2.3 million views, and it's literally all I do. I don't know if you saw, but I just ran from inside the house, right, threw a bunch of furniture into the pool.
That. Yeah, that's funny.
And said, Jake, I got to tell you about your car's extended warranty, and the video did super well. You know what I mean? So dumb. But like it's funny and it's relatable, and I don't need to be pushing the envelope to make that video, and that's what I love about this stuff.
Yeah, just funny little things and little ideas can be like you just take one idea and really take it. Yeah. I thought that video was gonna be like some kind of insurance. I was like, "Where's the ad?
Where's the ad?" Yeah,
should have hit up Allstate or something.
For real, dude. But you know, like when you do a show, it's like whatever level. So the way I enter a show is, if these are the skills I'm doing, I do these every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's that. And sometimes my body doesn't want to do these things every day.
Yeah.
You know? Right.
My body never wants to do these things anymore. It's so hard for, like, I went to the skate park yesterday and I was like, I do not want to get hurt. Like,
right.
My body hurts and stuff.
Right.
I find myself sitting in like jacuzzis and hot tubs more lately, because like you just sprawl out and you're like, my body aches, but
I'm surprised you don't have a sauna, like a single person sauna.
I know, and you're such a huge Joe Rogan fan.
Hold on, I have a sauna.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
And I also have a jacuzzi. And I also have a $12,000 massage chair. And I also have a cryotherapy membership.
Okay.
So yeah,
Where's the sauna?
The sauna's in my bedroom.
Oh,
So I just sit in it and just watch TV.
Oh, that's amazing.
My cat like paws at my face, like, "What's going on? Where'd the rest of your body go?"
I feel like the massage chair. Does that really work?
You have not sat
Have
in the
you
massage
sat-
chair
I haven't,
yet.
I haven't.
It's expensive, right? That's not a that's like
No.
a real massage chair,
It's
right?
like a $12,000
Okay.
massage
Yeah.
chair.
It's a chiropractic massage.
It
Okay,
pulls
okay.
your whole back apart. I sat in it
Amazing.
for like
I
an
can't
hour
wait.
yesterday. It's great, and it's the best massage chair you'll ever sit in too.
Amazing.
You'll fall
Okay,
asleep.
I'm
Like,
gonna
it's
check
not
that
the
out.
ones that are at the mall on display.
Okay,
It's like the
cool.
ones that are too expensive to be at the mall. So,
Got
It's
it.
got a zero gravity feature.
yeah, it's that thing is dope.
There's like those infrared or like sauna sleeping bags, right? You obviously don't need it because you have the sauna, but
Yeah.
And like get in a little like caterpillar cocoon.
I haven't seen that actually.
Oh, I think
But
it's just if you don't have space. You can just lay in bed.
Sleeping in one?
No, it's like a sleeping bag. You obviously only use it for like whatever amount of time you want a sauna, but it's just a way to travel
Yeah.
in sauna.
That's interesting. I mean, mine folds up into like a little box, so like
Oh,
it can
Oh,
go
wow, okay.
just about anywhere, and then it just pops up, and then you just put a chair in it, and you sit down.
Oh, that's
that's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you sweat your ass off. I bought it in Florida because the gym I was going to didn't have a sauna.
I love saunas.
Garrett and Dylan would just be playing video games, and I'm just sitting there sweating my ass off in the sauna.
He's just
Yeah.
sitting there like in the corner in this like little box, and his head's just like looking up, watching TV.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
It's so good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
so good for
good.
you.
Yeah, personally every single day I go to my gym has a cryotherapy chamber.
Uh-huh.
So you go in there, it's negative 180 degrees, and you sit in there for 3 minutes while it blows snow at you and everything. It's basically torture, but when
Yeah,
you get
oh,
out of
yeah.
there, you feel like $1 million. And then
Oh,
you go
yeah.
sit in the sauna for 20 minutes, and it's like the
Boom.
rest of the day you just feel like jello,
Sure. Yeah.
which can be good, but it can also not be good if you have something to do.
Man.
But yeah, the recovery stuff is crucial, especially as an acrobat. Like
Yeah.
people, man, so many people, like they go through life, they never stretch their back, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you have like a
Yeah.
hunchback and you wonder why. Like you have to stretch your back, just hang for a little bit every day, or like foam rollers and stuff. It's so important, and people don't even take care of it. Just normal people.
I always vent about this, but so how much we travel, it really bothers me that people don't arrange their house for any sort of movement space, whether that's stretching. Even when we visit family, I'm just like, even if I wanted to like lay down and reach for my toes or do a bridge, I'm like, where would I do this?
Yeah. Well, fortunately, right here we have this big, huge stretching
Yeah.
green area with boxing stuff and weights and all
Oh my
kinds
god,
of stuff.
The turf is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so
So
amazing to stretch on.
this podcast room doubles as like a little workout room.
Yeah, it's great.
But that's crucial for me, especially during like the quarantine when all the gyms closed. I was like, better start making a home gym, otherwise I'm gonna get fat.
I'm gonna go lift
Yeah.
rocks in the backyard.
And I did get fat.
I know we lucked out and found someone that sold us their whole weight rack, because the
Oh,
first
nice.
6 months it was, I mean, he kept trying to buy weights, but it was obviously so expensive.
So expensive.
We're just checking out Walmart daily, and it was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really weird one. Weights in general just went up like 10x.
Yeah.
And my friend made a whole business off of just buying weights, spray painting them, and then reselling them. Brandon.
It's smart.
Yeah, no, he said he was
Davis.
no, Brandon Burchick.
Oh no way! He did that, dude. He's a genius when it comes to stuff like that. I don't.
Brandon
get
is
his
a total
brain.
genius.
He's a mad scientist. It's great.
Yeah, do you know Brandon?
I don't think so.
Come a little closer to the mic. So
I'm also
Bran-
really bad at names.
Brandon can hold his breath for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
I think he can hold it for even
So
more.
like deep dive and stuff?
Oh, he does that for sure. He was like going for like, he was like sleeping in a elevation chamber or something like that. I forget what it's actually called. And
Just
like
like
just
compression
transformed his whole body to hold his breath. And now he's got this huge tank that's full of water, and he can just, I don't know, like 10 minutes to him is like nothing.
Amazing.
Yeah, he does all of his own blood work too. Like he
Yeah. He's like a
pushed
freaking
the bar
scientist.
on it as well.
Amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait till we have a place to live, because I feel like that's when things happen. Like that's when you can try random stuff. Like I'll fill up my tub and I'll hold my breath for as long as I can. But like I'm not gonna do that in someone else's house. Like that's weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys doing? How come you don't have a house? Buy one.
It was it was all over the place of one, we travel so much and rent in LA is so crazy that we already knew like how we're here for a week.
Don't
If
go to
I
LA.
had exactly. That's why we're doing Dallas, I think. But so okay, it's that knowing if we put in another hard year of work doing social media, like how much I've grown in the last year out of 2 years, I just feel like the third is just gonna be so great. So it's just like trying not to get stuck with a lease somewhere that doesn't benefit us. So that's why we've been really more methodical in like trying to find a lot of places, whether that's here, but we love Dallas, just because flights were so affordable because we have to be in LA as much as possible.
It's because of the food.
And the food.
What about Vegas? Like, I love Vegas because I'm 3.5, 4 hours from Los Angeles, and I have all of the benefits of living in Vegas. Like, the
Yeah.
laws are much more lenient than LA. Taxes are significantly less.
Yeah.
you're surrounded by all of the best acrobats and performing people.
This was like a
Everyone,
close second or third place.
We've talked
but-
about Vegas a lot. Personally, I think I just hate Vegas.
yeah,
And not like
terrain and weather.
for a visit, it's awesome. I love it. I'd stay for a week and have a great time. But like their overall like just terrain and weather and like it just looks desolate.
yeah,
And
that's true.
It's fairly dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I
with
mean?
dirt everywhere.
One
also,
of the things that really attracted me to Dallas was just like it's such a clean city.
Yes.
It's like all the
that's
great
true.
parts of Los
Yeah.
Angeles, and you're not in Los Angeles.
And it's so cheap. Like
damn,
it's so cheap to live there.
that's been one of the places because I've been considering moving out of Vegas.
Yeah.
But it's just for me having a circus company and a circus shoe company and stuff. It's kind of hard to move away from Vegas. But I love Dallas and Texas. But Florida's nice.
Yeah.
It's just on the other side of the country.
Yeah,
But
it's so
Florida.
far.
It was nice living in
But
Florida.
if we lived in Dallas, the flights, because that's such a main
The flight
airport.
to here or LA is so cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
actually if we moved to Dallas, because we don't want to live in Vegas, we can be in Vegas more than if we lived anywhere else.
Yeah, 100%. Plus, I mean, the owner of the circus center out there is basically giving me free reign to do what I want with the Trampwall setup. Like, who does that? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
So that's like hard to say no to.
Yeah, that's cool. Is that the only thing is about moving to Dallas is like anyone else live there that you know?
She has family there. I have family there. A couple friends. Like it's it's not like crazy.
No,
but
like
we're also-
acrobats or anything, huh?
We're also gonna get. Well, they have a Tempest out there, so there's a lot of
Oh,
pretty
okay.
gnarly parkour kids out there that are trying to learn wall, and so it'd be sweet to go just like hang out with them.
Yeah.
And our main
Um,
objective is even if we're only in Dallas for a week and a half, like we're fully there just as me and him, no one else in the world exists, and then we can travel the rest of the month, and that's when we do more of the social
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
We did, just recharging and only being focused between us. I
That
think
would
that's
be
the point of
sweet.
Dallas.
Nice.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's a great
Plus, we're
place.
gonna have a 2-bed, so like, man, I mean,
You guys
come
have your own
through.
beds.
Yeah, we have our own room. She pitched this to me last night and goes, "Listen, we both get our own room. We get to decorate." And I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, you can decorate both of them for all I care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what, when I was engaged, that's what this room turned into. This was like my bedroom.
Okay.
And because the bedroom I sleep in was just flowers and plants everywhere,
Yeah.
and it was a total girl room. And like, this is the basement. I painted all the walls black. I'm like, we got the drum set, the
This is my
guitars and
man
everything, the boxing
Yeah.
equipment. So that, no, you definitely want your own space. So that's a
For sure.
huge one.
For sure. And we just get like come through. We got a spare room people can stay in and like.
Dude, I will
and
definitely come to
bounce.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I just don't know anyone there.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, and I'm hoping to just like build a little community out there too. Like the
yeah.
Dallas Circus Center. Like I guess there's 2 or 3 guys that work there with trapeze that been like, put up a Trampwall. We want to learn. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And JR, he was like, bro, like I'll fly out to you once a month. You fly out to me once a month. Perfect. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That would be sweet.
Content's still there. Everything's still just like flowing like normal.
Yeah.
And now we just have less stress in our life.
Man,
Sweet.
Dallas is so tempting. I got to be honest. That's
Dude,
Well,
yeah,
we'll move
that's
out there. You can
yeah.
come check it out, and then
Yeah.
the
You're always
market,
welcome.
even if the market's high, it's still low in Dallas.
yeah. We've randomly booked a lot of like Texas stuff too. We've done San Antonio a few times, and we just always end up going out to Texas. So it's
Okay.
like, there is opportunity there for shows and circus and
Right.
stuff
For
too.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
The
And,
rodeos
dude,
are fun down there too.
We never actually book in Vegas too. That's like another thing. It's weird. We never book shows in Vegas. They're always somewhere else. So it's like,
Makes sense. Yeah.
do I really need to be here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't go to the Circus Center anymore, even though I have a membership. But like
Yeah.
that
I
place, the trampolines are just kind of bad.
Everyone here, like even the Dylan and Julie and Marley, the house, they were all like, we need to be in Vegas. We need to be in Vegas. And I'm like, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't quite get it. Other than the cost of living, I don't really get it.
Yeah, the cost of living isn't even that good anymore because everyone from California is moving here.
Sure.
And the prices are going up like crazy.
Yeah.
But they probably also are in Dallas because everyone's frantically leaving California and going to other places.
And Nashville, it sounds like. Yeah, that's where everyone's going from California.
Everyone sounds like they're mostly moving to Austin, which is nice.
Austin, yeah.
Austin seems like the
That's
place.
a more liberal area, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're more
Artsy.
for
liberal arts,
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the saying, keep Austin weird, and it's definitely like the artistic-y city of Texas,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't mind living in Austin. You know, I'm from LA, and I always thought I would never move out of LA, and then I moved out of LA, and I'm like, I'll never move back to LA.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for the reasons that, like, it was mostly for like taxes and
Sure.
just traffic is crazy. You don't realize how much less stress you have in your life when you don't have to sit in traffic 2 hours a day.
The Send It house is amazing, but even when we're like, we stayed at a hotel there for a few nights, and that area is garbage. Like,
Not good.
scary. Like, I'm getting woken up by sirens constantly. Like, and I'm like, even driving there, I'm like, I can't believe such an amazing house can exist, and like, this is just the best place to be because it's the cheapest in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
And, like,
no.
what are we getting?
We
and-
drove to that, and I was like sitting there like, it says we're 1 minute away. Is this in the hood or what?
Yeah.
And then you like it. He kind of is, and
Each
then
block is
out of nowhere, there's
different,
this
But it's
gigantic
gorgeous, right?
house.
Yeah.
And it's
The
all
house is
gated
crazy,
in, so
yeah.
just within this box, it's gorgeous, pristine.
But the thing that I keep getting from everybody is like, well, we need to, be in LA so we can collab more, right? And we do more collabs with other like YouTubers and TikTokers and all this stuff, which I totally get. But like, I haven't gotten any of my following from collabing with random TikTokers and YouTubers and things like that. Like, it's all nice extra added stuff when it happens, and I enjoy it. But it's never been why I got to build my TikTok or why she built her TikTok.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like if we just visit for a week, I'll probably be so much more intentional and productive
sure.
with collaborations. If it's like, I'm here 7 days only, schedule.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true,
Yeah.
because if you just sit there, time passes,
Well,
and then you're
complacent.
just kind of you become complacent.
Yeah.
That's like my saying or my motto is don't get comfortable or complacent.
Right.
Because the moment things start going well is the moment you take the foot off the gas, and then things start going bad, and you're like, oh, if I would have just been doing this whole time, like for everything, that always happens to anyone. The moment things start going good, you get comfortable, and then nothing lasts forever. Anything can drop off. Like in the last 2 years, each one of my sources of income, my YouTube channel, my stunt show, and the footwear company have all had major walls that we ran into. Like this year, our Soul Factory burned down like 3 weeks before the shoes were done with production. And that delayed the production like 2.5 months. So that happened. And then 2 years ago, COVID canceled all of the shows. So I was like, there goes my main source of income. And then I talked about some C-word stuff on my YouTube channel, COVID, and Google was like, nah, I'm not having that. You're going back down.
Dude.
They shut me down for a little bit.
You're going back to the bench.
Yeah. So anything can disappear at any moment. You never know.
Yeah.
Like I thought for a while Donald Trump was going to delete TikTok basically.
Oh, I remember
yeah.
that.
I like always was kind of like, nah.
We weren't that worried, but
Nah.
everyone wanted to
That
talk
won't
to us
happen.
about it. It
Yeah,
was so
everybody
funny.
was like, are you worried? I'm like, no, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
There's so much money in this app. There's no way. it's
If
going
anything, like
anywhere.
my whole like view on that whole situation was just like, this is publicity. This is just gonna blow up the app even more, and it did.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never was worried, but I would change subject really quick. What is a trick that you, Dylan, were like, or I know I'm just hey, it's the first time I've gotten to meet the guy and actually have an in-person conversation, people. What trick do you want to hit where you're like, okay, that's it?
Like,
Do you have a trick like that where you're like
the
wall.
last trick that I want to actually pursue
that you
that's
yeah
completely just fucked.
yeah
I really got to think about that, man. Shit. Because there's like so many different ideas that I've had so far. I mean, if I really wanted to top the bar off, I would have to say that Jonah Folin transfer full to like Rudy back ball out or something. I don't know. But even when I say that, I'm like, maybe I can do something even out of that.
right.
So I honestly, I don't even know how far
Yeah.
the bar is gonna go.
Yeah.
Because like every time something crazy is thrown, there's just like the next month or week, there's something even crazier than that being thrown, you know?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So like, I still feel like we're in the beginning stages of Trampwall.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like the possibilities are
yeah.
almost endless right now.
I think you're right, but I think it's dependent on the setup. Like I think that the setups are like gonna evolve. So one of the big things for JR with Fallbrook and bringing that back was because he's like got a little evil genius mind where he's just like, I have all these other ideas and I need space for it.
Yeah.
So what's gonna pop out of that? I have no idea. But
Okay, so normal just tramp wall, say like wall to wall, and then just a trampoline, like. There is at some point going to be a plateau where it's like, okay, like the bar is so high, I don't even know if we can
at
go
this
past
point,
that.
if we
but
go
like,
past it, you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
But when it comes to tramp wall, like there's so many different setups that you can create that like, oh shit, like depending on the setup, the bar could go even like way higher than that.
Sure.
Yeah. That's why we try to have like a 3-wall setup for the last competition. That way there was like a variety. People wouldn't just huck the craziest tricks possible. They had to like flow the whole course and stuff.
For sure.
Versus just having like a send it competition, not send it the brand, but like just send it where people are just going crazy. That's not what I'm trying to promote. I want to promote like people being fluent and like moving around well on the wall and just
bringing a parkour aspect to it.
Yeah, parkour or skate park aspect
or skate
to
park.
it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so for regular tramp wall, yes, the bar, it can go definitely higher, but it's gonna plateau at some point. But when it comes to creation, the possibilities are endless. Dude.
For sure. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like Dave Locke's ideas are just outwardly. Like I don't get it half the time.
He's a mastermind of ideas.
But then like he'll like go into it with detail and like draw it out, and I'm like, it seemed crazy at first, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, that's awesome.
I got some questions for you guys that I wrote down.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So you can pick one trampwaller in the world. Who do you live on an island with?
Julian
Do not
Clary.
pick your wife.
And I can't
first.
pick my wife.
No.
Julian Clary.
You'd pick Julian?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, Julian's from an island, so that would make sense, actually.
I feel like we might pick the same person.
I have to pick Dylan Vance.
Dylan?
He was the best man at my wedding. He's been my best friend for 10 years. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Yeah.
I'm not trying to like show shade to anyone else, but like, dude, like Julian he's got that amazing personality that you could never get tired of, you know?
Yeah.
He's just always like thinking out of the box, always just very kind-hearted when it comes to stuff. And then like when you're doing something stupid, he will let you know, like, hey,
for sure.
you're being a dumbass.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so my reasoning for Dylan is actually because I do get sick of his personality. And he gets sick of mine. But the beautiful thing is our line of communication, our friendship is just like we could probably say some pretty awful shit to each other and then be cool in like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. What's yours?
I was gonna say Dylan.
You're gonna say Dylan too?
Also, just because I know him the most, but like, so he's such a golden retriever energy that like I'm rarely self-conscious around him, and so I have not done much like acting or even like improvisational activities, but like Dylan and I have a whole like wrestling act we do where I like gouge out his eyes, and like it's something funny where like I'm literally so like relaxed around him that the craziest things happen. So I feel like if we were stranded on an island, some really funny shit would go down. I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah.
Just very golden retriever energy.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would choose Mason because he's like my best friend, and I feel like me and Mason would just be able to build like a whole society. But then if I was thinking about like personalities or something, like probably Marley, because I feel like I would just get along with Marley every day eventually. Like
Marley's hard not to get along
he's
with.
hard to not get along
you have to
with.
really
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
He's so chill. And let's see, for the next one I had, who would you get in a bar fight with? Trampwaller.
So we're on the same team with this, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Like
Oh.
who's
It's not-
got your
okay,
back
okay,
in a
okay,
bar
got
fight?
Got you.
I thought okay.
Yeah, you
I
go
thought,
first.
I thought
You go
basically that was
first.
like, who do I want to fight if I was drunk?
Okay, listen.
I would pick Dylan because he's like borderline psychopath and he'll throw down.
Okay. If I were to get into a bar fight with somebody,
And someone's
but
got your back.
also if I were to have somebody have my back, both of those choices would be Max J. Mainly because I know that fool's always got my back. I always got his back. But like, if we get drunk enough, we're gonna tussle it out. Probably wrestle in a bar.
Yeah. Well, you guys had a full-on wrestling match
Full-on WWE
in my old
match.
house, and there's like blood on the walls and stuff. And I was like, I come home, I'm like,
That's
why is
amazing.
there blood on the walls? There's a hole in the wall.
Dakota in the backyard one time had, I think it was either Sage or somebody just like punch him in the face just because he wanted him to do it.
Okay.
And then after it happened, he was like, yeah!
I saw that actually.
Oh man.
All right, who would you get in a bar fight with?
Okay, so my answer is definitely not Dylan for this one.
Dylan would want to be there, but would offer no support.
He would want to be there. He would want to be there. Funny story about him. He's the only friend that has almost gotten me killed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Not good intuition.
Yeah, no. He dated a girl for a long time who was psychotic and got us into a situation
Hopefully
where
she's
this
not
guy
watching.
had a gun, and it was the whole 9 yards, and I'm the only one that's like, well, Dylan's not gonna do shit about this, so I'm gonna do something.
What the?
I know, dude. I know. This was before Trampwall. But no, let's see. Part of me wants to say Dave Locke, but I'd be worried that he would kill someone with he would be like, "Oh, you got my knives here," and just
This is what I've been training
Taking
for.
scalps off. I'm taking
I've
scalps.
been waiting for this moment. He'll like start throwing knives out of his pockets and shit.
Do you know what though? Actually, I think I gotta go with Sam Softage because I feel like he could scrap.
Yeah.
Most
There's something in
definitely.
Sam that you look at him and you're like, he could scrap.
Dude,
For
no,
sure.
I've seen him take some of the gnarliest blows too, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm good."
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no,
funny.
I'm fine. Like, what, dude?
He's such a sweet guy, but I'm sure he's got some scrap.
Oh
in him.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's got some hidden fury in him.
Okay, Amanda, who would you get in a bar fight with?
I don't feel like I broadly know the Trampwall community like super well, and I can't answer him even though he's obviously the first. He's like the only one I know that could actually like end it if we didn't want to keep going. I don't know. I wouldn't get in a fight, so that's the other hard thing. I might like verbally, but well, if I have to pick someone, I feel like Sarah would want to fight someone. Cooper, so
Sarah Cooper, yeah.
yo.
she would have the balls. Even I actually don't know if she's anything to back it up with, but I feel like she would just be all force, so that's fine.
I feel like she could knock somebody.
I
on
feel
their
like
ass.
Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see me get in a fight, I feel like something's really wrong.
Something's really wrong. Okay, and last one. Who would you start a business with? Amanda first.
Yeah.
That's really hard because I feel like what we do is already very business-like. Dylan, again, it would be very helpful of the like artistic concepts, but execution, he's not your guy.
Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah,
Come to
but
the
that's great. But
mic
he
a
knows,
little.
but Dylan knows that, so it's fine. Hinga, I feel like he and I artistically like resonate a lot, so I feel like he and I could accomplish something. But that's pretty much already what our business is me and Luke. Dylan is in our videos, and then Jake and I do artistic stuff. So that's pretty much already what's up.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go with Dylan only because I can do everything he
Dylan's
can't.
so hot in this
And
podcast.
yeah, well, I mean, it
He's
comes
like-
down
he's
to
our
like,
bro.
it just comes down to like, yeah, he's my boy. You know what I mean? Like without him, I wouldn't even be in Trampwall. And then, yeah, I just feel like we just work together very well in some of those areas. Or maybe Marley. I could go with Marley.
Yeah.
It's a toss up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Dylan?
You said in the Trampwall community.
Yeah, start a business with.
You're a dumbass.
Well, okay. Other than me, though.
Other than you, Max.
Max?
Only because like him and I have a lot of hidden ideas that we have never told anyone yet.
There it is.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the shit that he has written down in his notebook that we have just brainstormed about is just like, what the fuck? You know, like some otherworldly shit that nobody else has ever thought about, that when we look at it even, it gives us goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, I can envision it in front of us right now, and then like at that point in time, I don't even know if I would do it. You know,
Yeah.
but like I'm still gonna do it regardless, you know.
Man.
But yeah, definitely Max.
Yeah, nice. So you guys have been doing TikTok with some pretty celebratorial people. I don't know if that's a word, but
Sure.
who's
Yeah.
the coolest person you guys have met?
Oh man.
Because I know you did Papa Roach. and I
Papa
was like,
Roach
what?
was
Yeah, I feel like Papa Roach is up
so
there.
cool. Like, I mean, I have Jacoby Shattuck's number in my phone right now. I could call him for you.
Let's call him.
Like, no, I'm not gonna bother him.
I mean, we already called
but
911.
But like, he's so cool. Like, when they left that night, like, he sent me like a text and like a voice memo, and everything was just like, dude, thank you so much. Like, I want to bring my son by sometime.
Which one
and
is
all
he?
this stuff. The lead singer. Of
He's the
Papa
lead
Roach.
singer. That's so sick.
And I literally hit them up, and they were like, so I'm going to go see a show, Amanda and I, and then my brother and his girlfriend, we're going to all go see a show, because I hit them up and I was like, yo, could you get us some tickets? And they're like, for sure. So
Dude, that's sick.
it's
That's one of my favorite bands
genuine
of all time.
people, for sure. Yeah, like super cool. But we also met this guy named Kevin. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's the Iron Sanctuary. And he was dope.
I know who that is,
Yeah.
actually. I've seen him at Venice Beach before, I believe.
Okay.
I think. He's like a really buff guy, right?
He's, buff, tattooed.
Yep, that guy.
Yeah, always wears a dress. I ended up in a dress doing Trampwall. It was...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that video.
Yeah. But also just a really cool guy. Like,
Yeah.
I had a great time hanging out with him.
Did you guys really get tattoos the other day during the Trampwall game?
Yeah,
Those are real.
yeah. I have box tattooed on me, and Dylan has BO.
Where?
On my
Oh,
ribs.
did you lose?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you
yeah.
lost to Dylan.
Of course. I mean, funny
But
enough, I
who's the real
actually almost
winner?
won that box game.
Well,
and-
yeah. Now he's got Bo.
Yeah, he's got Bo on his, I guess Bo, right? Or BO.
Bo.
so.
I mean, you could, he could type boob. You
Yeah.
know, just put an OB on the other side.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. We had such a great time. And that tattoo artist, his name is Paul Todd, and he just like, he hit me up and was just like, dude, I want to do Trampwall. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I want to get tattooed. How much do you charge? And he goes, no. Like, I just want to do Trampwall. I'll tattoo you. Like, no cost.
And all you can think of is, I want box on my.
And I was like, all right. Well, I got my shin done, actually.
Oh,
and then
nice.
Amanda got her
Calf
calf done, side of her calf. And just like, he was just the coolest guy. He flew from Delaware, hung out with us. The only person I've ever taught Trampwall, and he was able to make it to the top starting from the bottom first day.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
With zero acrobatic background, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Like,
he
no
crushed it.
background. So, yeah, he crushed it. And he's actually like, dude, come spring, I'm buying a trampoline, I'm buying a wall, I'm putting it in my yard. And I'm like, you do that.
Getting those walls out
Yeah,
there.
there's lots of walls popping up now too. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Before
it's-
there was
it's
only
amazing.
a few of them in the whole country,
Right?
and now
Yeah.
there's like they're kind of everywhere. And that's the
Yeah.
only problem with Trampwall is the price to get in is $10,000. You need a
For
whole
sure.
wall and
For the
everything.
people that go through with it, it's awesome.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Our friend
Yeah.
Travis in Colorado, his setup
put
was so
one up,
awesome,
yeah.
and his family, his wife, is so great. We stayed with them for like a week, and I still daydreaming about it.
There's nothing better, in my opinion, than just non-acrobats, like regular, cool people, normal lives putting in a Trampwall.
yeah,
And then just like, come on over. You
Yeah.
know? I love that, because it's like, they don't care about shows. They don't care about the politics or the drama. They just love Wall. And that's what we all should be doing. Like, we all should just be like, we just love Wall. Like, you get so much now where it's like, well, I have to perform, or I have to do that, I have to do this. And I'm just like, man, sometimes I just want to forget performing exists. I love performing, so just let me preface with that.
yeah.
But I want to forget it exists sometimes and just be like, this is just the community. It's about just being able to train and being able to teach people, overcome fear. Like,
Yeah.
so many life lessons to learn through it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta just don't be a pussy, as it always says on people's
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
And just jump,
Yeah, no, you definitely
Commit.
battle a lot of demons when you first start out on Trampwall.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
such a
100%.
pussy.
And then once you start like figuring it all out, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually having fun with this now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's starting to just all click.
Yeah.
It's great.
One of my favorite things about the old junk tramp. Did you ever get to go to JR's house to the junk tramp?
Yeah.
The old turf wall?
Yeah.
Where Dave had his high bar set up at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was there.
Okay. One of my favorite things about that setup was like, it didn't matter what level you were on, man.
Yeah.
Everyone was hype all the time. The sessions were insane.
Dude, I was watching those videos all the time on YouTube, man.
It
And
was
I would
great.
I would look and I'd be like, is he really supposed to be on there? Hucking just a backflip lawn chair. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that was horrible. But then the next shot is him actually landing it. And you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're actually teaching people stuff. That's
Yeah.
great.
I remember this random guy. I don't even remember what his name was, but just some skater kid that came and he learned how to do a ball out. And I swear the energy of just everyone cheering and being hyped for this kid was
Yeah.
the same as if somebody just did a triple walking back. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah. That was basically where I learned Trampwall was there. If it
Was
wasn't
there.
for that
Okay.
house, I wouldn't have started doing Trampwall, really.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of started, and then all of a sudden a week later, we're going to JR's house, and it was like, well, now I'm gonna really start progressing, you know?
Right.
And it was so fun. Like we were putting balloons on the trampolines and doing all kinds of weird stuff, and that was like, where did this come from? You know? Because Trampwall was nothing before that, really.
Yeah. No, truly.
I really enjoyed the beer pong Trampwall.
yeah.
I loved that.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was
harder than it looked.
wildly good at that, and I don't know why.
Yeah, we actually did a beer pong Trampwall video at Junk Tramp a long time ago too.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it wasn't as good though.
And
Yeah,
then
that was fun.
the stacked cups, the ball outs over the cup
Yeah,
walls. That's
dude,
pretty cool
they
too.
always perform well on social media. The stacked ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's great.
That
She
And
one-
did
watching you just like blast through all of them. It's so
I know, it
satisfying.
was
'Cause it's like,
awesome.
I want to see the cups get crushed. Like, come on, somebody do it
Yeah.
already.
That's what everyone's waiting for.
I realize people probably don't know how I even met him or how I even ended up doing Trampwall, so I'm gonna share it just because I think it's a
Ooh.
fun
Do that,
story.
yeah.
Do
No,
it.
I have not
Um,
heard that origin story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add in the parts about Dylan
Yeah,
because I
that's
think it's
fine.
hilarious.
So I was just performing. I grew up dancing, and then I learned aerial after I was 18, and so I was just kind of doing my thing in Los Angeles. I was performing at the California Pirate Show, and girls weren't allowed to do trampoline, but all the guys after show would go to Tempest to just like work on trampoline, and I was like, I got nothing going on. So that was my first time even like learning needles, and again, I knew nothing. And there was one day
Wait, what's a needle?
Oh, sorry, just back bounces in place.
Oh, okay.
Again, all I knew was just like basic gymnastics, like you just bounce back, but like staying in place was wild to me. So I'm just working on that. I think someone explained like, I always mess up the number, corkscrew back, 1.5 to my back, whatever. I'm just working on those. And Dylan, out of the blue, he's just some like little shirtless monkey man, runs up to me and it's just like, do you want help? And I was like, yeah, okay. And so, of course, Dylan's being social. Luke was visiting, and they just eventually come over and start talking. Again, I know next to nothing about trampoline, and halfway through they're like, oh, do you want to like come train a Junk Tramp sometime? And I had heard of it, but all I knew was it was someone's backyard and it was exclusive, and I was like, in my head brain I'm like,
I had no idea how coveted that was at the time for her. Like it was like,
Come a
what?
little closer to the mic.
sorry,
by
but
the way.
I'd heard of it. I knew a few people that had the shirts, but that was about all my knowledge of
Yeah.
it. But someone would be like, oh, it's someone's backyard, and I knew you don't just like show up at someone's backyard. So when someone is like, you want to go to Junk Tramp, I'm like, I have to say yes, even though I have no right being there. I just have even learned just even trampoline in general. So I say yes. We start hanging out. Oh, well, do you want to fill in?
Oh
the-
yeah, no,
the
for sure.
story?
Because this is Dylan. I don't think
The
cares, but-
notorious Dylan.
dude. This man is hilarious to me. Mostly because like we walked out of the gym that day, and he
Yeah.
just looks at me and he goes, "Dibs." And I was like, "No, bro, no, that's not happening."
We're gonna have to rock paper scissors.
Yeah. And so that was funny. So that was a phase of my life where I was like, I just want to meet people. I'm saying, yeah, like anything. You like, I will try whatever. And I messaged both of them after training, and I was like, just so nice meeting you. Like, let's train again next week. And only Luke answered, and I was like,
Oh.
interesting. And so then I go, we hang out.
Well, little did you know they had a boxing match that night. over
Exactly.
there.
So yeah, then I just show up
And
to
Luke
Junk
won.
Tramp. Yeah, I just show up to Junk Tramp. They start teaching me, and then the world shuts down. And again, we had only been like dating. It is dating, but like
Yeah, we were like dating, but it was very casual. Like our whole like thing was like, all right, hey, like I'm gonna leave in a couple months, and that's that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Was that when you went back to Pirates when you were like going in and out?
No. So I was
was that
about to go to work for Jill actually in Ohio, doing
Okay,
their
okay.
show.
yeah,
And
he was just off for a few months. I was living full
Yeah.
time in LA, and so that's when we met. And he was just like, "Well, I'm leaving in May, so we're just enjoying each other's company for now." And I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah,
And
and we were
then-
just dating and getting to know one another, but that was the extent of it. And then everything shut down, and then Joshua Tree started, right? That's when we
Oh,
moved in
yeah.
there.
I wasn't
And-
living there initially. No.
She was not living there. It was well, the three of us and then this guy Paul. If you've met Paul, I don't know if you know
Paul's
Paul,
dope.
but so it was four of us really, and she comes a few days later to like hang out and just like check it out and all this stuff, and she's in an apartment in LA. And we're like showing her the place, and we have this tiny little section of the Joshua Tree house. It's like a bigger house that you can like unlock, but you have to pay more money.
Yeah.
And we're showing her the place, and Dylan just goes, "Hey, you should live with us." And I'm sitting
awesome.
here like, I've known this chick for a month. what are you doing? Did you not think like, hey, bro, should we ask her? You know what I mean? There was no consulting with me. It was just like, you should live with us. And then
And of course, I'm like, I want to learn Trampwall. Yes.
yeah. So I'm sitting over here like, yeah, come live with us.
And it's pandemic, so if they don't let me live with them, I'm just gonna be in Los Angeles for a year and a half in a box. Like, you know, no one's training.
Yeah.
And so I was like, please say yes, please say yes.
Well, that's sick that everything worked out, though, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so dope.
Yeah. And now here we are married.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That was a sick story. Hell yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
That was sweet.
It was great because I almost didn't go to Tempest the night we met. A friend was like, hey, I'm here. And she never goes to Tempest. And I was like, I was just going to go to bed and like go to sleep. And I was like, I have to go. My friend's there. And then that was the night I met them. So fate is a
Damn.
wild thing.
That's a sick story.
Oh yeah, she downloaded TikTok too.
They're gonna say Tinder.
Downloaded Tinder. No, so no, I had blown up on TikTok one day, and while we were like dating, you know, we'd been hanging out, whatever. And so I'm like constantly on my phone, like it's like a stream of just like
It was a little obnoxious,
what
I'm
is
not gonna
going
lie.
on, you know what I mean? And man, it was just like I think that video did 30 or 40 million views overnight. And I went from 11,000 followers on TikTok to 500,000 almost within like 48 hours.
Damn.
So it was just like a lot going on, right? And I'm getting reached out to by ESPN and SportsCenter and all this stuff. And they're like, hey, can we share your video? And I'm just like sitting over here like, what? You know? Like, and then she's all like annoyed because we're supposed to be like hanging out. And I'm just looking at my phone, you know, like
And this
what's
lovely
going on?
ADHD boy cannot, if his phone lights up, isn't going to ignore it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's cool.
Yeah, basically.
That's how my brain works. I can't help it. But no, it was cool. And then she like downloads a TikTok and doesn't tell me about it for like a week. You
'Cause that
know,
was
just
really-
like, I'm gonna hide it kind of a
Yeah.
thing. It was kind of funny.
I was
And
shy
now
at
she's
first.
at 4 million on there, so it's like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But not yeah, that's the plan is we're just gonna keep doing it. Actually, one of the things I've been talking about too is like kind of what we did in Joshua Tree and Big Bear and Fallbrook and all that stuff is I want to like do that again, but in a shorter stint. So like 1 or 2 months out of the year, we're going to pick like 2 locations and just be like, all right, who wants to live with us? We're going to live here for, you know,
yeah.
a month. And the goal is just to train our asses off, film content, you know, do the whole 9.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, just for a month, you know, because like everything's doable. Like when it's small, like the only issues we had over that time period came from everyone being stressed about money, or like, will we ever go back to work? Is this ever going to end? Because right, Joshua Tree started as like, hey, we're going to be here for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
you know, and then 2 weeks turned into 4 months, and then the next place, and then
Yeah.
that turned into 8 months, whatever, and a year, and everybody was just like, we can't keep doing this, like, you know what I mean? Like you're forced to basically live with people. We had to get people just to pay the rent, man, because like we were in Joshua Tree, we were like, we don't have enough people to afford this, so we had to just call whoever we could and be like, do you want to live with us, you know? And a lot of people said no, and some people said yes, and it was just a bunch of people that didn't really know each other or whatever, you know, locked in a house together trying to make content.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
like Jersey Shore, but like Trampwall
For
desert.
real.
Dude, yeah, you guys should have set
Oh
up
my
cameras all over the
gosh.
house,
We
man.
were, I mean, it's funny because we were trying to do the YouTube series, but then as like we were comfortably like in a stable relationship, meanwhile, all the other people are trying to navigate whatever the love life they have through a pandemic. And the amount of phone calls we're getting from people is just drama. I was like, why are we not recording this part? Like we have just a reality show right here alone. It was nuts.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's such a cool like environment to be in though. It can be stressful and stuff. But that's like the one downfall of living here is no one else in the house creates content. So I'm kind of a loner when it comes to that, which kind of is probably why I moved towards just doing like YouTube stuff by myself. If there was people around me that were also creating content, that would be sweet. And I probably would do
Amazing.
different kinds
Yeah.
of content. But no one in the house does content. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the one downfall of
Well,
like,
visit us in Fallbrook.
We have to
for
get
a
Dylan
minute.
Totally, I
out
need
to
Yeah.
on the content train
I
because
feel like you'd be
I'm-
great
I'm-
in skits.
I'm,
Dude, you're-
I'm slowly getting there.
you give off like in the best way possible crackhead energy, bro.
Everyone's
that's his name. That's his nickname.
In the best way possible.
But that'd be great for skits. Yeah, you just gotta start hanging out.
Yeah, we got to get you out there.
like, dude, the box game that I did with Jacob, that was
I
over
died
the top.
at that video.
It was
Like
over
watching
the
that video, I
top.
died, bro. It was so funny.
Jake just looks at me. He's like, dude, just what do you think your character's gonna be? And I was like, I could just be this crazy cracked out kid that's just tweaking the whole time. And he was like, great, sounds great, let's do it. And I was like, all right, just like dove into it knee deep, and it worked out.
It's so awesome. Yeah. I'd
Oh,
love to get you
man.
guys out there.
That'd be sweet. I would even like be down to stay for like a couple weeks and rent a room or something too.
Yeah, we can probably figure that out for sure.
Yeah. We're down to
Because
talk
sometimes
about
I need to
that.
get out of this place.
Yeah.
It's like just yesterday I was sitting there like, man, I've literally been just doing like rinse, recycle, repeat, like on do the same video.
Yeah.
Just come home, work my footwear company, and then just do the same thing every single day. And then I was like, man, this is like a never-ending cycle. It's getting depressing.
need a
I gotta
break.
get out, do
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing we got the swing in the backyard now.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that thing.
Hey,
I'm gonna,
you touched it a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
film. That's it.
I'm
nothing
telling
to
you
do
right
with
now,
it.
you would be a great back pusher.
Dude.
And it's the easiest thing to do
It's
on
the
the
easiest
swing.
thing. Yeah. Well, maybe
All
other
it
middle
takes
push.
is timing.
Yeah.
I'm a great camera guy. Like I don't want to be a part of that death trap.
Swing is pretty gnarly. I will admit that. Like it can be nuts
Yeah.
if you're not careful. You get a little too like, comfortable with it. You got to like watch yourself.
Yeah.
sure.
I like being able to go into water. That would be nice because there's
Oh,
like
sick.
you can't really miss.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but you can't really miss. But
It's a lot safer.
I
to
feel
learn
like
into water.
that's the part I would be less worried about though. Like, because there's been guys that have flown off they're on the front, but they flew off the back on the backswing because of whatever happened. You know what I mean? And they've flown off
that's
like
good to
that
know.
and go the other way.
good to know.
You know?
That's why Ryland was wanting to put mats behind the swing.
Jeez, I did not know that.
That thing is powerful, bro. When it gets
Yeah.
going, you don't stop it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You slow
move
it down,
You move around it.
but you don't stop it. Yeah.
You guys are making me reconsider that swing in the backyard right now.
Listen,
Just
when you
let
have
Ryland do the steps, and it'll be good.
Ryland knows exactly what he's
Yeah.
doing when it comes to that contraption, dude. He is a mastermind when it comes to that stuff. Especially with all of the teachers that I know that he knows that he's been taught by. It's just like, yeah, that's definitely who you would want teaching or even being on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beast.
Yeah, it's kind of like a teeter board, but way more dangerous because the teeter board is just
Yeah.
a death trap waiting to happen. Everyone wants to get on it and like see if they can go up and down, and then one person tries to step off when the other person isn't ready or something, and goes flying off.
Yeah.
I personally would say that swing is a bit more stable than teeter board.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Probably that level
agree with
to
that.
like the entry level getting into it's probably easier to learn swing
Yeah, just
than
like
it is
straight jumps.
teeter
Like-
board.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're careful on swing, and you're just always vigilant, you're never gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
comes with
Teeterboard,
every
like
apparatus, too.
teeterboard, you could have a problem. So it's like so much easier to have something go wrong. You know what I mean? Like even something small, like you tweak your ankle, you tweak your knee, whatever. Like you didn't like Elijah. I was just talking to him last night, and he was having an issue because this guy wanted to leave the board early every time. And so he's taking it into the floor more, you know what I mean? And just that repeated taking it to the board into the floor over and over and over, like he had some stress fracture problem, you know what I mean?
Elijah
So,
Holt?
yeah.
Yeah, he's dealing with an injury for
Yeah.
sure. That
So-
sucks that they let him go from love
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, that was stupid. Sounds like,
Dude.
but
That's why I'm like, Cirque du Soleil, do you really want to like spend all your life trying to get into the Cirque du Soleil company? To me, that's like kind of working at Walmart, but
so
cooler.
my whole thing with circus, I've never actually wanted to be in circ. It's never been
Me
like,
neither.
and the reason for it is because I've never wanted to do like a year-long start to finish contract because I like freedom too much. And then even the one show I kind of like contemplated being like, okay, this would be cool was Hoya, but which isn't even really, it's like kind of circ, but kind of not, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was the only one I was like, oh, this would be cool. But even that, like, I just hear there's too many problems with it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can just replace you like on a flip of a coin, you know.
Yeah.
True.
And now I can't get in if I wanted to anyway, right? So
Why not?
because I'm unvaxxed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a leper.
I
I have no comment on
admitted
that.
guilt.
I think I only wanted to be in Cirque because it was the only option.
I
Yeah.
only wanted to be in a circ for like a year or two just for the experience.
Sure. Yeah. experience
Just
would be
because
cool.
I wanted to be
100%.
with all of those high level people just creating chaos. You
Yeah.
know, that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Literally. Like
Yeah.
the benefits, the punny, like whatever. That's cool and all, but like I just wanted to be on that
Yeah.
stage
Well,
so bad.
I think really what the Big Bear experience where Julian, Mo, Marley was all out there.
Dude,
We had like 6 or 7 really comparable Trampwall artists out there, and we were able to just do what we wanted. You know what I mean? And we were able to come up with ideas and things like that, and throw Mo off the wall in weird ways.
Yeah.
And that was cool. That was the creative side. That creative itch was like scratched there. You know what I mean? And that's where I was like, I like this more than I think the idea of getting paid for it at like Cirque or whatever.
I think my long-term objective is like get big enough on social media that I have the money to, whether that's a production company or just even one-off shows. Like I would love just for like a one-night only thing and just take all of our brain children and show it, and then we're happy, and then we do it the next time we want to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Especially as a dancer and like choreographer, like I have so much in my head. Like even like I would love to choreograph like award shows one day and just figuring out how to get there. Just because you don't have a budget and you can do something wild.
Yeah,
I would
that's
love
true.
that.
That would be super sweet.
Yeah. If you like, there's some books that you should read, and that'll put you in the right mindset for it. Like Think and Grow Rich goes over a lot of other successful entrepreneurs, and it just talks about their story on how they got there, and it kind of, you start to like pick out people that are similar in your life, and you're like, oh, maybe I could do this with this person or something like that. And I mean, that's just the thing about audiobooks and stuff too. It's just giving you ideas, and then that's how you really grow, and you can think of more ideas and stuff. I mean, when you think about it, everything is in here, it's all ideas and like making them come true.
Definitely.
One last thing I wanted to ask about. You guys still doing Trampwall Tribe?
It's an LLC still, and anytime we do...
Oh, it's an LLC. You guys went all that process?
Yeah. So it's in Jake's name, and anytime we do... So we did something with Aritzia, the clothing company, recently, and we just, to make that process simpler, we just went through Trampwall Tribe. So it's not really... anything other than
Jake also has like production company goals as well, so I think if we were hired for an event it would be Trampwall Tribe, but for the simplicity of social media's sake, that's where we just kept Junk Tramp because it was already known and easier. It was hard to push the term, but for us it still exists, and production wise it's like everyone
thinks of Junk Tramp and they think of me and Amanda, they think of Garrett and Mo and Jake and and so like it was easier to just solidify everything there as opposed to try to be like no these guys are Trampwall Tribe and these guys are you know what I mean, like now it's just like we're all Junk Tramp. It was
that was a little complicated for me at first, and I had Dylan's van parked in the back of my so people would, dude, you guys get recognized everywhere. Our neighbors and stuff are like, Trampwall Tribe is here. This is where Trampwall Tribe is.
I know, I painted that. I was really happy with that.
Oh, you did? Oh, your art piece was like, because you can see the van from the main road. That's for a while, so everyone was going by like, is this a Trampwall Tribe place from TikTok?
Oh my gosh, that's the funny thing about like staying at Airbnbs. The one in Big Bear, the 2 houses next to us were all Airbnbs, and almost every single people that moved in recognized us, and I was like, that must have been so fun. Like if I moved in and there's just like TikTokers next to me, like that'd be so exciting. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. I have not once been recognized ever, and I don't know if it's people or just don't want to talk to me, or like they don't want to like bother me. But even like JR got recognized at a McDonald's drive-thru, and I'm like, JR, you're great, but like you're not like necessarily like recognizable. I'm like, I have orange hair. Like, why has no one?
In any of the videos?
He was in one video that went viral recently, but I don't think people know he's Junk Tramp. They just know he's
that's
a person.
Hard 2 and 2 to put together.
I was just shocked. I was like, how? I was like, no one once has been like, you're that girl.
In all fairness, a lot of people have recognized her and said something to me.
Oh.
Like I've been like sitting there and it was like, oh yeah, like whatever, and this is my wife, and oh yeah, we know who that is because of whatever video.
So if anyone's listening and if you see me anywhere, feel free to talk to me. I'm a little shy.
I avoid the Defy trampoline parks mainly because I go in there and then the next thing you know, I'm just surrounded by like 30 kids and I can't do anything.
That's funny.
So I'm like, I can't teach. I can't do anything to like wow you guys. So I'm just going to leave. But when I go to the circus gyms, like it's cool to like have like maybe like chill. 4 or 5 of those kids show up and they're like freaking out and it's like, yo, let me show you some stuff. And they're like actually doing it, and then they start coming back to that gym. Yeah, it's really cool to do that
for sure.
But the overall like just bombardment of people, I don't like that as much.
Well, before meeting them, I like did stuff in California, but I wasn't really integrated into like this global community, or even as not like a high level Trampwall artist. It's wild to me now that like people know who I am at Circus Center. He's like, oh yeah, no, they know you. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it just is so weird to me to like be known for not feeling like I put in the work, like art wise. It's just really funny.
Like,
I don't mind it.
Sup, Amanda? Hi.
Yeah.
Person. Hi. Cool.
It's just funny. It just makes me laugh because like before social media, I just like would have showed up and no one would have like batted an eye. It's a funny transition.
I would like to back to the Trampwall Tribe thing though. I'd like to see more happen with it because it's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it is a
it
great
is.
name.
Like it's a phenomenal name. And
Dylan
I'd
wears
like
the
to
merch
see it.
still, and I think it looks great
Yeah.
on him. I was like, we
Yeah.
need to push
Yeah.
that.
Did you guys do the all wheels contract last summer on the parade?
He did.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't do it though?
No, she didn't do it. I just
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
Honestly, it was terrible.
Oh, sorry.
And
Jill.
like, not Jill's fault at all.
Yeah.
Like
But the
Jill
parade aspect
did
of
her
it?
thing, but it was just like 7 days a week, man. And we
7 days
Yeah.
a week.
and
That's good for your
It was
wallet,
handled by
but-
the park, not by
it
Jill.
was a freaking float, dude. It was long way tramp on a small trampoline with like just a wall, no ledge really. It was like a slanted roof, so you couldn't really stand on it.
Oh.
And there
You
wasn't
got yelled
enough.
at the one time you went on the roof.
Yeah. I was like, that's why you hired me, but okay. But like it was like it wasn't enough. Like there wasn't enough stuff where I felt like I really wanted to risk doing anything. You know what I mean? And so it really just became like Groundhog's Day after a while of like, okay, this is mind numbing.
I can feel that, especially if you're not on a set that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And was it moving around while you guys were doing Trampwall?
Oh yeah, because it was a float. It was they'd drive
Did you
us
ever
through
make
the
a
park.
turn while you're doing Trampwall?
Yeah, and we'd get different drivers. You know what I mean? So like,
Like, oh great, Charlie's on here. He was drinking last night.
you know, yeah. You
And
get
the
jerked
song
around.
song they performed to was like made for the
It was
150 year
made
anniversary.
for the park.
So
And
that
it
song
was
is just
terrible.
horrible, and he listened to it every day.
Yeah.
And there wasn't there a show after?
Yeah, and then we didn't do anything. So that whole show afterward,
He
There
danced
was
with
like
a tambourine.
there was like a tiny little number where we like went up there and we'd like clap, you know, and then we just like I'd flip Wilson, you know, he'd like give me his leg and we'd do a little backflip and that was about it. And then we had like a little basketball number which was like 2 bounces of us just jumping off a trampoline and dunking a ball, and that was about it. And then we danced with a tambourine at the end and we were done.
So you guys didn't really get to explore Ohio? Because I did 7 or 8 summers there.
Yeah.
That place is
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
We
7
went to the
days a
Thirsty
week.
Pony a lot.
Yeah.
Thirsty Pony.
And we were there all the time.
Yeah. You never went in Put-in Bay?
No, because it was like 7 days a week. Who wants to go do something that's going to require a lot of effort with a 7-day-week contract, you know?
Yeah. That place is fun, though. You can, like, explore Ohio. There's so many fun things to do there. But, damn, 7 days a week, that kind of kills the contract.
It
'cause
was
you don't
rough.
have-
Well, the rehearsal process was worse, dude. We did a 16-hour day. on
So you guys had an
rehearsals.
actual set on the float, or it was just freestyle?
It was freestyle. The whole thing was freestyle.
They had
Yeah.
a little dance that
But
they do when it
we had a
stopped.
little dance when it stopped, but that was about it. But the rehearsal process was insane because they integrated us into a show that had been happening for 2 weeks, and the lady that was running it basically was just like, "Okay, go ahead now, do your thing," and we're like, "There's no blocking, there's no timing. What do you mean do our thing?" She literally was like, "Can you guys do the thing where you stack on each other's shoulders, maybe like 3 people high, and then can you shake?" I'm like, "You want me to do a 3 high and shake and give you a shimmy? Are you kidding me?"
Oh, man. Yeah, people's concept of, like, what is possible and what's dangerous and what...
Dude.
They're like, I saw Cirque du Soleil do this once. Can you guys do this?
And you know rehearsal processes are boring, right? It's just how it is. But I'm telling you, they would wake us up and we'd have to be there at 8 o'clock. Our camera's dead. We'd have to
Camera's
be there
dead.
at 8 o'clock, and then we would leave by like 10 o'clock at night. So 8 a.m. to like 10 o'clock at night. And we would only do like an hour of actual rehearsal, and then we'd just lay there on
Complete
our phone.
disrespect of people's time.
Damn.
It sucked.
Damn. So this whole time I was sitting here like, oh, we're almost to 2 hours, but the last minute's going to be audio only. But anyways, I guess that's a good time to wrap
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
For anyone listening, you are Amanda Adventures on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
And Luke Schupp is Trampwall1 on
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
And Dylan is The Real
And
The
YouTube
Real Broadway.
YouTube for us is Travelbatics.
Nice. Travelbatics. That's a good name.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
Sweet. Well, thank you everyone who listened and
Yeah, this was
watched.
fun.
Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.
Diggity deuce.
Boy.